And welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews, as always. My name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, as I'm sure you already are, as it's 8 o'clock on a Thursday, 8 o'clock UK time, by the way. So that means we're here to talk about some toys, and today a topic that is near and dear to my heart. It might have started me on this whole collecting, loving Marvel journey. We shall talk about it, but as you know, I can't sit here and talk to myself. That would be crazy. So let me reintroduce last week's special guest host. He's back again today. It is, of course, Jay's Toy Collection UK. Jay, how are you doing?
Hello, I am good. The hair is up this week after all last week's comment on hair. I thought I'd do something different, and I'm not at the wedding fair, so don't tell Cheeky Monkey what I'm doing.
Oh, you meant to be somewhere else?
I am meant to be at a wedding fair this evening. She has taken my sister instead, so I said I couldn't let Dan down. I'm on the stream. It's Spider-Man. I made my choice. I will live with the consequences.
You're a good man. You're a good man. Cheeky Monkey Kakara, thank you for lending me Jay for the evening. This is a perfect topic, as me and Jay are both very similar in regards to this sort of, the animated Spider-Man show is like that cartoon that sort of pulled us in and introduced us to so many characters and into this Marvel world in general. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. If anyone knows my collection habits, and I love the retro line, and obviously this sort of topic fits that perfectly. And we have been given a little glimmer of hope when it comes to the retro figures this year, as I thought they were gone. I was telling Rich they're gone, game over, forget about it, plastic-free packaging is in. And then no, little bit of hope been given out there, via it be Craven or even in this new line with Rose and Tarantula. So there is hope. So today's stream is going to be me and Jay sort of giving you just, let's be honest, that show has so many characters and so many different costume designs. We could have made a top 50 list, okay? So today's just the first 15 that came to our head, ones that we would selfishly like in our collection, but it's a fun conversation all the same. I've already got a poll up in the chat right now, which again, the poll only gives you 4 options, so I apologize if your option wasn't there. So I did pick, there is an option saying that you can pick a different character, but get involved with the chat, which asks most wanted Spider-Man animated series character design for your Marvel Legends. The options are currently Chameleon, Alistair Smythe, Blue Outfit Punisher, which seems to be very popular, so I put Blade in there as well because they're both on the sort of same page, and then great picks, but somebody out, because as I said, lots to talk about. So thank you to everyone joining us today. Let's do the housekeeping, and then we'll just dive straight in. So first things first, you know what to do. Welcome to the channel. This is the Thursday show where we recap the world that was in Marvel Legends, and then every now and then we break down a topic, which is what we're doing today, talking about our most wanted Spider-Man animated series figures. This Sunday is a Legends and Liquor week, people, so if you are a channel member at the Members Club tier, on the 26th of March, it is the last stream in March, so might be doing third quarter. We may be doing favourite figures in the first quarter. Technically, maybe. No, way that would be April, wouldn't it? Okay, ignore me. I'll figure it out. But if you want to be on Legends and Liquor this week, you know what to do. You can start hitting me up on the DMs. Hit me with a fresh DM. As long as you're a channel member, you are in 2 full groups. Joe's and Juice, of course, go and watch the replay. We've done a couple of them recently. And then Turtles and Tea. Me and Tanner capped off the start of March with a Turtles and Tea. So I'm sure there will be plenty more where that came from. Because I have an official date for the next Inner Circle, okay? The date is, let me just confirm it. I've already spoke to Amanda about it. It's going to be Friday, the 31st of March. Okay? Friday, the 31st of March. That is next Friday. I'll start my stream later than I usually would, and then it can go until we're ready to go to bed, essentially. So, next Friday night, if you're our channel member, then you can get involved with the chat. You can jump in as a guest. It's a free-for-all. We can talk about everything. It's just a virtual hangout amongst friends, all right? But you have to be a channel member to be involved. We've had a couple on the channel, and they're always very fun. Jay, you were singing on the last one, right? You had your guitar out.
I was singing on one of the previous Inner Circles, and I thought you'd do it on that Friday. So that Friday's the Inner Circle. It's WrestleMania the Saturday night. It's WrestleMania the Sunday night. I'll have a 3-night all-nighter. Good thing I booked the week off work after.
That's perfect. That is good timing. That's a great weekend. Great way to start the weekend. We may not go dead into the night, but I usually always say that, and it usually does. So, if you're not a channel member, people, as I said, this is the month to do it. Just scrolling up, Justin Collect says, remember, Dan, retro cards are over. Done. Hope everyone is doing good today. Justin, there's some hope. There's some hope. I know he's winding me up because I always say that. But still, thank you very much, Justin. He is a channel member. He can get involved next Friday. So, as I said, lots of streams on the channel. Get involved. And if you want to contribute to this nonsense that we do, then please do so and get involved. Anything over £4 or $4 via Super Chat or the Streamlabs donation link in the description right at the top. Then Friday, our talking assistant will read your comment out loud. She will interrupt the show. Be involved. Let us know your favourite Spider-Man animated series character designs you would like to see in the Marvel Legends line, whether it be retro or VHS. Let me know via the Super Chat. It's much appreciated and gets involved. And again, hit that join button. That's what it's all about. And again, Inner Circle this month, next week, Legends and Liquor this Sunday. As I said, get involved with the community we're building here, and it helps the channel grow. Much, much appreciated. So, today it's worked out perfectly, Jay, because as I said, I have one thing to show off, and it ties in perfectly with our topic today. As in the UK, now again, my American friends can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this has hit the US quite yet. But this landed in the UK maybe a day or so ago. I've seen a few people get this. Shout out to Hannah. I think Big Will's got this. But I have here the first Spider-Man VHS 2-pack, which is Symbiote Spider-Man and Carnage. And by the way, shout out Little Leaf Creations once again, showing some love and gifting a channel membership. That I think the Fossil caught. Good catch, the Fossil. So congratulations, you are now a channel member, the Fossil. Get involved. They make sure you say a special thank you to Little Leaf Creations, always showing some love on the channel. I see you, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So I've got this today. I haven't got this myself yet. This is a loaner. I've lent this off my friend Neil, who on Instagram is actually Marvel Legends UK, but he's got no association to the Marvel Legends UK group, so he just gets constant abuse on Instagram, even though it's nothing to do with him. So shout out my friend Neil. He is the original Marvel Legends UK on Instagram. No association to the Facebook group, okay? He's just a normal guy who loves Legends, long time friend, and he got this and went, I've written a comment saying, damn, I should have got this, and he went, do you want to lend mine? I was like, yes I will. And luckily he works in Birmingham, and so do I, so we met up today and he sent me a loaner. So thank you very much to Neil. That worked out perfectly. Go and follow Marvel Legends UK on Instagram, the one and only. So Jay, you also love this show, but are you like me? Are you sitting on the fence with this one? Are you buying this VHS 2-pack? It's awkward, isn't it?
What a noise.
It's awkward.
Yes, but no. But I want the Spider-Man. I definitely want the Spider-Man because I do like the blue cell shading because that is classic animated series. The Carnage doesn't do an awful lot to me. I think it actually is on a different body, isn't it? Because I did see Neil's post yesterday and somehow it's ended up with you on the stream. But
yeah, Sunfire. It's on the Sunfire body. So it does have the butterfly joints. It is all pins, obviously. But the Sunfire body's a pretty decent sort of base Marvel Legend mold, and the deco from Carnage is more accurate to what you've seen on the show, but it is technically like the fourth Carnage we've gotten in recent years. But is it an upgrade? Maybe. I actually preferred the sculpted on lines one, but I guess that isn't very animated, so I can see where they've went with this one, Jay, but I'm just very conflicted in a year where so much is coming out and we have to be picky. Even though I love the Spider-Man animated show, I'm still a little bit mad. If these were on retro cards, I would have been a sucker. I would have been straight in because we haven't got Carnage on a retro card. So if you put Carnage on a retro card, add him to the wall, he's straight in. But now he's in this box. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't mind the box for the VHS because it reminds me of the classic VHSs, and I am using them for display because I've split my two Marvel Legends units in half, and down the middle I'm standing the X-Men VHSs, and these can stand on the side, so I'm okay with that box. Plus, and I don't need to buy two because I don't need to have one on the retro card on the wall. So the box isn't an issue. It's just I'm thinking it might go into the sale, so I'm playing the long game, and let's hope it pays off.
Yeah, for the record, I completely agree in regards to this gimmick grew on me. I understand in this new plastic-free era, we're sort of transitioning. And again, you know me, not a fan of plastic-free packaging, but the VHS sort of style is the best of it, because at least they're trying to do something with it. They're trying to make it into a gimmick. And as a wrestling fan, I do appreciate a good gimmick. So I get what they're trying to do here. Not the strongest 2 characters out the gate for me, but again, they did make up for that with the second 2-pack. As the next one is one I am definitely not skipping. It's already been revealed. We know we're getting it. It's due out 1st of May here in the UK. It is, of course, the Aunt May and Doc Ock 2-pack. Finally, we're getting an animated style Doc Ock, which is my mind's eye of Doc Ock, bendy wire tentacles, and the main event, the reason everyone's buying this set, is for Aunt May. Now, you're not waiting for the sale on this one, right, Jay? You're in on this one.
Oh no, that was pre-ordered at 6 p.m. the day it went up. I was there waiting on Pulse. I thought, I'm not missing Aunt May. I'm not missing Doc Ock for the animated series. So that was an instant pre-order. My only Marvel Legends instant pre-order of the year so far.
Ah, nice. Yeah, no, I was the same. I had to pre-order this. I knew it would be a popular set because obviously everyone wants Aunt May. Nothing to do with the bendy wires. It's Aunt May. She's the main event. So I'm looking forward to this next 2-pack more. And Dan Yoon has already publicly said that some of the best figures of the year are within these VHS sets, and they are going to be 2-packs again. So I doubt we're going to get as many as we did with X-Men. I think last year we got 8 X-Men. So while X-Men are on a hiatus, while they're taking a break, Spider-Man fills that VHS void with 2-packs. So far, these are the 4 characters we've got. No more reveals in regards. That's why today's topic is perfect, because if we've got any Hasbro lurkers today, then maybe they can pay attention and be like, oh, good, we're making that. Or if you're not making it, add it to the list, because everything we're showing today, we want made in figure form. But I will do a review of this on the channel. I will do a comparison. I have all the previous versions of Carnage and of Symbiote Spider-Man. So I'm hoping to get this review on the channel tomorrow, which I'm sure may influence a few buying decisions. But we got a super chat.
Boris Johnson's Devil Advisor donated $5. Just want to confirm Dan didn't get those early figures from a secret party with Hasbro. We are investigating Donatello for spreading misinformation.
Thank you very much. Boris Johnson's evil advisor. He just says, just want to confirm, Dan didn't get those early figures from a secret party with Hasbro. We are investigating Donatello for spreading misinformation. Yeah, Donatello's not always right, for the record, but he is the best turtle. We know that for sure. But again, Hasbro don't send me anything, all right? Idiots on YouTube say that. Thank you very much to my friend Neil. I do have to send this back. So I've still got Monet surfing on Galactus. I've had such a weird couple of weeks. I haven't even sent Rich's poor figures back. That's why Rich has left the show, because I've kidnapped Monet. That's why he's not here anymore. Maybe if
Rich has just jumped in the chat with a couple of spoilers there for carded releases. Anybody wants to have a look in the chat there, they will get some insider scoops from the source.
Shout out Fiendish Frank. Thank you very much. Fiendish Frank. He's just become a channel member at the members club tier. Frank, what a perfect month to join. We got Legends and Liquor Sunday, and we got the Inner Circle next week. So if you want to get involved on either of those shows, let me know, my friend. You are a channel member now. Get involved. Be on the channel you are supporting. It is as simple as that. Thank you so much, Fiendish Frank. Much appreciated. So that, again, is our topic today. There is a little bit of Legends news, Jay, in regards to what's been revealed, but we're not going to waste too much time on this, but we do want to acknowledge it. Dan Yoon said that this week there'd be a reveal that hasn't been revealed yet. He never said it hasn't been released yet, because technically it sort of has, ish. So this week's official pre-order was the Gamerverse Miles Morales. Now, if you're thinking, have we had this already? Then sort of. It is basically a reissue of the one we got in the Armadillo wave, but he does have new arms. He also has blue sort of effect pieces rather than the yellow, I think, came with the other ones. And he also comes with Captain Marvel's cat, which is called, Jay.
Oh, the Flurkin thing. I don't remember it's a Flurkin, I can tell you that much.
You know the species, but you don't know its name. You got a second to think about it. Northern Nomad with the
Northern
£20
Nomad
donation. Thank you very
donated
much.
$20. As I always say, what up SUCKAS cool.
As always, I say back to you, my friend. Hopefully you're not locked out your house, and you are always welcome on this channel. Thank you very much, Northern Nomad. What's up, Sockers? Okay, so what was I asking? I was asking for the cat.
You're asking for the cat and I thought the chat might help me out. So I'm reading the chat and nobody's put it in there. So you've let me down there, chat, haven't you? I have not got a clue what the cat's called.
It's Goose, I believe. In the comics, it's
Goose.
because it's in the comics it's Chewie, I think, because of Star Wars, but in the live action it's Goose because of what's it? That
Top Gun.
Top Gun, yeah, that's the one. If I'm wrong, someone correct me, but I do think it's just a reissue of Goose. But anyway, there we go. And to be fair, right? To be fair to this Miles Morales, right? I know it's a reissue, new arms, make it more accurate to the game, whatever. It's a very good Miles Morales action figure, like completely pinless, really good range of articulation. All the web lines are sculpted on there. It seems to have the nice accessories. So if you missed out on that previous version of Miles, then here you go. Second opportunity on getting this one, because that one, the previous one, was going for a little bit higher on the aftermarket than retail. So again, it's not for me. I already have a Miles I'm happy with, but it is what it is. And you know what the community's like these days. They're just going to nitpick. But yes, we have had it recently, is my point. Jay, any thoughts on this?
Any thoughts on this? Well, your boys got toys. Did say in the chat. How did they get D Amazing's cat? So do shout out D Amazing because he did take up your challenge after last week's episode.
Shout out D Amazing, absolutely. Check out my Instagram for that. Yeah, we talked about it last week. Taking pictures. D Amazing's so good he could take pictures of random shit and make us want to buy it, and he absolutely did. I've been cleaning my drains all week with one of those little brushes. So shout out D Amazing.
Yeah, this figure, I've got the other version, so I don't really need this one. Super Turk 5000 shout out. Tanner in the chat just said it's a huge disappointment to me, and if they've let down Tanner, then they've let me down as well.
I agree.
It's okay if you don't have the other one. I think it did go up on the aftermarket actually. This version of Miles, the Gamerverse. So this probably actually is more of a helpful re-release than the Ronin we had last week. It's probably my fault. I'm like a jinx here. Been on for 2 weeks, and both weeks we get a first day reveal, and both times they're figures we've already got. So yeah. I'll leave now.
No, it's not you, Jay. It's not you. It's definitely a Hasbro thing at the minute. But again, re-releases ain't always a bad thing. It's a break for us collectors that like to buy a bit of everything, and it's also a second opportunity to get new collectors on board or people who missed out on stuff. There's always a silver lining, always, right? If you choose to not find it or not look at that, that is on you and your perspective on life. I always try and find, as I said, the silver lining. So it's an opportunity for people to get this Miles if you want it. But yes, it is basically a reissue. So there you go. Take it if you want it. It's there. But let's talk about Spider-Man. That is why we are here. Shout out Marvel Legends UK, who's in the chat. Hopefully that's Neil. Neil, I was giving you some love, my friend. I was shouting you out for hooking me up with this today. Perfect timing to talk about our theme for today. So I asked Jay to give me a list. And to be fair, me and Jay were on par. Like, a lot of our suggestions were very, very similar. So they're not in any particular order. We're just going to go through this. So I thought I'd start very easy, Jay. Very, very easy. And let's just start off with the man himself, Peter Parker. Now, we have already had him on Retro Card, but the Retro Card wasn't an animated, accurate Peter Parker. Because in animation, again, I always call myself a cartoon character because I'm wearing the same thing all the time. They wear the same thing all the time in the cartoons. So I've tried to pick two of his most known Peter Parker outfits there on the picture. One of those shirts you can actually buy at the Disney store now, by the way. I may buy it if I see it. But there is two looks. I would very much like a Peter Parker in one of these looks with maybe a camera accessory, a newspaper, I like a scrunched up Spider-Man mask. I desperately want one of them in Legends form so I can display my Spider-Man figures unmasked with a scrunched up Spider-Man mask in their hand. For some reason we don't get that in Marvel Legends, but I think that's a cool accessory to have. So starting off easy here, Jay, and again, get involved in the chat with hit and misses. You know how this works. I will read out a few as we go through this. Jay, what do you think? Peter Parker.
Well, we couldn't start with anybody else, could we? The hero character himself in this iconic 90s animated sweatshirt, is all I can call it. The striped green, white and blue sweatshirt. That is childhood Peter Parker to me in an absolute nutshell. So this is a must-have for me if we're going to have more animated figures. We've got Aunt May. We need Peter in this outfit to go with her. as you say, Daily Bugle accessory, a camera. I'll take anything really. This is going to be two fanboys having a lovely stream. I'm just telling you now, ladies and gentlemen, because we love this show. So well, if you love this show, you'll love this. If you hate this show, you're probably on the wrong stream.
No, yeah, it is going to be a lot of me and Jay just gushing and being very nostalgic. We've got a super chat there from Shotgun of Plastic Fun. Says animated Beast and Whistler 2-pack. Found out Whistler was in the animated show. Thanks, Wikipedia. Great stream, Dan and Jay. Thank you very much. Great picks, and we may be talking about some of that a little bit later. You stay tuned, but thank you very much for the little donation there. Much appreciated. So yeah, Peter Parker, I think, is universally agreed. We would like an animated looking Peter. We have had Peter Parker on the retro card. He's up there somewhere, but it's not an animated look for Peter. It's a generic sort of Peter Parker comic book. I want an animated, accurate design for Peter Parker, just like Jay. So yeah, in on this. Just jump into the chat. Great, Craig, shout out Craig Nostalgia Collection. He's got a good. He says it needs a spider sense effect as well. That would be pretty good for a Peter Parker. That would be very good. Yep. Paul McCarthy said it's a huge hit for Mr. Parker. So does Alexander. Says hit. Fiendish Frank says obvious hit. Arvin said I'd get it as long as it's paired up with Felicia or Mary J. That's true. With these 2-packs coming out, they could be paired up with someone. I'm thinking they're going to go hero-villain constantly and just keep that dynamic. But that hasn't been confirmed. They could switch it up. Mikey Moonboot says hit. Damien says Mary Jane, yellow sweater, Mysterio 2-pack. Again, another great suggestion. Stay tuned. Animated Pika would be cool. I already have the Elvis Costello version, says Ali. Your boy's got toys with the pals and the hits. Justin collects his hit. Crazy Nostalgic Collection says hits with the Spider Fence effect piece, of course. So yeah, Derek as well jumped in with a quick hit. So yeah, easy one to start off here. Let's have an animated, accurate Peter Parker. Now, this is going to be a silly question, Jay, because I'm just going to say retro card every time for my own selfish reasons, and I'm not apologising for it. So I would love this on a retro card. But at this point, would you just be happy to get it in VHS or retro? It doesn't matter to you. It's all about just getting that figure in plastic.
To me, this is definitely an opener, so I'd be happy to have it in the VHS again, so I wouldn't have to double buy it. And Aunt May is already in the VHS, so just line those two bad boys up, one on top of the other. You can sort of, imagine the display now.
Yeah, no. I to be fair, I probably won't ask that question again. It's a bit irrelevant. But as I said, it does seem like Hasbro have given us options. I thought it was all over for retro cards, but if Rose, Tarantula, and Craven have taught me anything, it means there is still hope this year for Spider-Man retro cards. Classic characters, at least. Animated style characters, maybe. So, easy one for Peter Parker. Okay, next up. This has to be there, Jay, up there with my most, maybe my number one most wanted animated character design I want in figure form. I didn't want to wait for number 10 for this. I'm just straight out the gate. They need to know we need a Chameleon. No waiting around now, Hasbro. We need an animated style Chameleon, right? We had him on the had him on the Toy Biz card back in the day. He came with multiple heads. We've had a Chameleon in the Legends line on the suited body from 2015 Rhino Builder figure wave. That came with a J. Jonah Jameson head, if I remember correctly. And again, that's great, but it's not my mind's eye of Chameleon. Because of this animated show, a lot of these characters' mind's eye of what we've seen on the show. And his design is just very recognisable for this animated show. So I'm not apologising about this. My most wanted Spider-Man animated series character design I want in plastic right now for my collection is Chameleon. Jay, are you with me?
I am with you. There is a poll in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I have voted pre-show, and I did vote for Chameleon. How can you not want this figure? I have seen some excellent customs of this figure on the AIM soldier body that have been done over the years, but to actually have an official version, I've been waiting for so long. I had the Toy Biz version as a kid in the original sort of 4 or 5 inch line. it's such an iconic look for the character. I think Chameleon's kind of got two iconic looks: the original sort of smoking jacket,
Yeah.
Invisible Man look from his first appearance in the comics, but this '90s look, the purple suit, it could be action figure perfection, as they say. So if I see any misses for this in the chat, I've got the spanner. You're out of here. Pulling the
Yeah,
Brandon.
I'm not even mad about it. Get gone. And again, what's so great about Chameleon? He's toyetic. In figure form, you can give us interchangeable heads with this guy of characters you probably maybe wouldn't necessarily make full figures for, and then give us the opportunity to create kit bashes and stuff, which is what they've done in the past. Like, I think back in the day, they gave us a Dirk Anger head with a Shield agent body. And like, who wanted a Dirk Anger head, full figure? No one did. But you just give us the
Came with
heads.
Nick Fury, didn't he?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's an example of like characters where you can change the heads. Chameleon, he's all about that. He's all about that. So, question to the chat before we move on from Chameleon, all right? Because I can see a lot of hits there. If he was going to get given some interchangeable heads, okay, who would you like to see? And think obscure characters. Don't think like very obvious characters. Think obscure characters from the Spider-Man animated series where we wouldn't necessarily get a full head for. And let me have a quick look. So I think someone said Nick Fury, which again would be a good one. I would say like a Harry Osborn or someone like that. Someone who doesn't necessarily need a full figure, but just give us his head sculpt. Again, that's just one off the top of my head. You got any ideas, Jay?
I have. Shout out Damien Ristori on this one, because his story he shared had Robbie Robertson in it. And I don't think we'd ever get a Robbie. So a Robbie head, which we can just put on a suited body, I think would be a very good idea.
Yeah, no, again, potential for some heads for this. And again, who doesn't like head, Jay? Who doesn't like head?
Especially on this channel.
Exactly.
It's everywhere.
Let me scroll up a little bit. Mini Plastic Multiverse says they have to do this. Surely we haven't been waiting on we have been waiting on this forever. Hit. Damien with a hit for Chameleon. Mikey Moonboots with the hits in the fire. Paul McCarthy with the hits. Let's have this already. Greg says Chameleon is related to Red Skull, right? I don't know. Maybe. I can't remember that. But you're probably right. I don't know.
He's the brother of... I thought he was the brother of Craven.
Yeah, that's what in the comics he is, but the animated show might have talked liberties.
The animated...
Maybe.
It might have done, yeah.
Omega Weapon said they should make Chameleon bout removable so we can put it on other figures. That would be a great little tidbit. Little Leaf Creations with the hits and the pals. Your boy's got toys. Is he serious? Get him out of here, Jay. He says, miss for me. Powers are too hard to communicate in figure form. This guy's got to be sarcastic, right?
He's got to be winding me up. I'll give you a pass for now, Alexi. Any more of that, and then you'll be out of here, son.
Yeah. Just Vision Collect says, oh no, talking about head. Somewhere David Evan Smith is I told you, whenever we do that, he's just having a seizure somewhere, and he just doesn't understand why. Shout out David Evan and Smith, all three of them. I know his secret fourth identity as well. He knows what I'm talking about. Fiendish Frank says, this is my number one most wanted as well. Yes, me and Frank and Jay, we're all there. Absolutely needs to happen. Hill Phones, Professor Hill Phones, sorry Phil, says, I'd like Chameleon in red, gold and green. Hit. California Red Devil with a hit. Big Will says Chameleon on the recent Dormammu book as a base. Yeah, I guess so. Don't get me wrong, in all of these picks, of course, we would prefer brand new tooled, pinless, technology, fancy, loads of accessories, great value for money. That all goes without saying, all right? This is our dream list. We're just talking about characters today, but yes, I'm sure that would work. Compulsive Collector says it's a miss just for that. And I say they're playing you now, Jay. They're playing
having me now, aren't
they? Matt Martin says huge hit. Yeah, need to complete my In Sinister 6. Yes, not the Sinister 6. They're in Sinister 6 because they couldn't call them the Sinister 6 on the show. So.
No, the Insidious 6
sorry,
for
yes,
the technical pronunciation there, sir.
My bad. You are correct. You are absolutely correct. Because, yes, now we've got Doc Ock in the VHS. He would be the last one we need. So, yes, Hobby, I agree. So, yes, Hasbro. This has to be happening, right? This isn't breaking news to you. I know a lot of people give the Hasbro team stick, but they're not idiots. They must know this is wanted. Is it happening this year, Jay? Let's just put it in the universe right now.
I think it is happening this year. I thought the figures. I knew Dan Young has teased we'd get some potential figures of the year in the line, and people have already wanted. So I knew Doc Ock would be one of them. Well, I knew. In my head, I knew Doc Ock would be one of them. And the other one, I think, is Chameleon. It has to be done. We've literally not had a figure in this look since the original animated line back in like 1994. So it just has to be done, I think.
Looking at the chat, Ted Darkhall says, "Hey everyone, hey Dan, hello Ted, welcome to the stream." Greg just screams Flash Thompson at the top of his lungs. Your boy's got toys says, "When both hosts tell you something that's wrong is right, plant yourself like a tree and say miss, 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 miss." So he's playing games. He's playing games with us. All right, we're watching you, Alexi. We're watching you. Okay, let's get on to the next one. Okay, Universal, unanimous, everybody, 1000% hit. Hasbro, stop wasting our time. Make this happen and release it. All right.
It's got to happen. According to your co-host of Turtles and Tea in the chat, in the animated show, Chameleon and Electro are the sons of the Red Skull.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is a bit of trivia that I
but
clearly
Electro,
forgot
yeah,
my brain.
Electro doesn't even appear to like the last couple of episodes, does he? So it's
yeah, interesting. See, this is the type of show I would love to do a rewatch for. I tried to, but I only got to season 1 and then just got too busy. But I need to make it happen. Right, let's get in.
I've done it a few times over the years.
You got the DVDs,
it's on Disney Plus now. I've got the DVDs. I've had them for years. The DVDs, literally, if you open it, it's falling apart, the actual case, because I've watched it so much over the years.
No, that's good. That's good. Okay, let's keep going. Number 3. Okay, staying with the villains here. Let's go with the Vulture. Now, okay, he's not up there with Chameleon level we need, but it is a unique character design in the animated show that we haven't had in figure form yet. We have had a couple of Vultures in recent Legends years. One of them was the Ultimate Vulture, which came packed with, I think it was like a sort of skinnier, smaller Peter Parker in a 2-pack, if I remember correctly. And then we got the Vulture. I can't remember the Build-A-Figure wave it came in. Do you remember, Jay, what Build-A-Figure wave the Vulture was?
The comic Vulture came in the Demo Goblin Build-A-Figure wave?
Maybe. I can't remember. The chat will help us out.
He says confidently, the chat will sure help.
Yeah, the chat. But both versions were comic versions of Vulture, and they were both old man Vultures with like the liver spots, like the Burns, Montgomery Burns of the Marvel Universe is Vulture essentially. Yes, excellent. Where in the animated show, the Tablet of Time gets involved, and he sort of fluctuates between the two. There's even like a scene in the future, in a future episode, where he's like chained up in, I can't remember whose cupboard was he chained up in. Was it Venom's cupboard? It might have been. He's chained up in a cupboard anyway, and he's going back and forth. And I think if we had animated Vulture, we need the options. We need both young Vulture and old Vulture. Adrian Toomes, of course. Do you agree, Jay? Is this something we would like to happen?
Yes, this was on my list. I sent you. This was probably number 2 on my list because, again, this is a figure I had as a kid, so it holds so many memories for me of the version when he's younger, after using a tablet of time, with his full head of lovely hair. You see, modelled after the Vulture today. So I would love to have this figure. Again, I think we should be getting both heads really in the set. Some nice deluxe wings. We can make this one a deluxe release. I'll take some fancy sort of interchangeable larger wing pieces, but it is such, again, an iconic look, the same as Chameleon. It was such a different look for Vulture to actually have him younger there after the Tablet of Time with his hair. So I think this is a definite for me, and hopefully the chat will agree.
Mike in the chat says this design is comic accurate too for the Life Thief story. Yes, absolutely. But I was just sort of alluding to saying that we haven't had this sort of younger head in figure form yet. So if this was to get released and it did only came with one head, then the younger head would be my preference, because maybe we've got an older one that we could swap in with. But I do think it's a no-brainer, just give it the interchangeable head. Shout out Dante from the Infinity Equation podcast. He 3D printed me a Tablet of Time accessory for my Spider-Man animated series line. I thought it was on the shelf, but I must have put it in a safe place in my accessories tub. So it's a little tiny Tablet of Time. I need to paint it up a little bit to make it more screen accurate, but shout out Dante, he's working his magic with the 3D printing. So the Tablet of Time could even be an accessory with this, with the sort of more armor style suit, which is a little bit different to the more streamlined comic version, I guess. So I'm with you, Jay. I'd take this. A little bit big, maybe probably couldn't fit in a 2-pack, but saying that, you're putting Doc Ock with all his bendy wire claws in, so why not just pack it in there? It's a big box.
Let's have him as a Build-A-Figure. I'll take him as a bath. Why not? Let's pull him together. Give me a Builder figure in a VHS box.
Make it happen.
See, I'm being very greedy now.
Make it happen. Looking at the chat real quick. Tax in the building. He says, hit, pow. I'd like this Vulture. So does Jamie. He says, needs both heads. More heads are better. I couldn't agree. Justin Collect says, hit. Greg says, the animated series Vulture can double for the 90s Vulture for people who want him. Shane Shooter says, hit, but only if they make it really good, not just a repaint. Shane Shooter, that goes for everything. We don't even need to say that for all our picks today. All our picks today goes without saying that they're good value for money. It's the best that Marvel Legends can offer us in technology right now. They all come crammed with accessories. That goes without saying. This is our most wanted wish list, so obviously we're dreamers here. Let's just focus on the characters today. But yes, goes without saying that the Legends team do these figures justice. Damien says, mega hit for him. Pair him with Norman Osborn. Interesting. Ali says, people want Chameleon for the colourful outfit, but that alone isn't that much of a reason. With Vulture, would you get the young version for the first time? That is true, we would. As I said, we haven't had that in figure form yet. Fiendish Frank says, I hate the sound, reluctant, but hit, and need a young and old head, though. Absolutely. Young and old head. Interesting. I won't I won't lean on that one too much. Mike, again, confirmed that the Thief Life story, and just scrolling through. Craig's Nostalgia Collection, absolutely with the hits as well. Rick Jones says, young Vulture is like handsome Rat King to me, not my Vulture. To be fair, handsome Rat King is nobody's Rat King. That's the problem with that figure. At least young Vulture here is somebody's Vulture. Like Jay said, this is nostalgic to him. That's his Vulture.
Don't bring up Super 7 today after the bill I got hit with this week. My goodness me.
Wait until Legends of the Liquor, people. You'll hear about it. If he's still got his lights and electric on at home. Okay, let's go up. So this is only pick 3, people, all right? We're warming up. Next up, Alistair Smythe. Now, another character we have never had in the sort of 6-inch sort of modern era of Marvel Legends. Now, there's a couple of pictures on screen there, Jay, so I'll give you some options, okay? So you can either have Alistair Smythe before the incident in his wheelchair, that high-tech wheelchair. We could go Riders Wave style there. Or you could get him in his sort of beefed-out version, or we could get a 2-pack. Go crazy, Jay. How would you like to make Alistair Smythe? Which version is needed for your collection?
Oh, you're getting me sweating now. Don't make me choose. My goodness. When I said Alistair Smythe in my list, I didn't know, but I was thinking roided out, crazy steroids version, but I think I want normal version in the hover chair as well. So this is, again, perfect for the Riders Wave. We've just had Hawkeye with his Sky Cycle, but so there's potential hope for Riders. You could probably use sort of a very similar chair to Professor X there. It's quite a similar sort of mold. I think I do want the roided out version more, but I will happily take both. That is a very hard. That's like choosing between your children. Why is it making me do that live on there? Terrible.
Yeah, I want the wheelchair version because he's like Kingpin's lackey, isn't he? So if you're going to build like an animated series display, you want the Kingpin there, you want Alistair Smythe as this little lackey next to him, then you get all the villains around him. But then that other like roided out version, like you said, is just very toyetic as well. So he's not in the series as much as the wheelchair version. The wheelchair version is very much all season 1. It isn't until later on that happens, and then he gets a bit crazy then. I think he even destroys his wheelchair because he doesn't need it anymore. But yes, where's my father? Says your boy's got toys. Absolutely. So let me read a few of this, and again, let me know. Don't just give me a hit in the chat. Give me which version would you like. Jamie can't pick because Jamie said, "Why not give us both? Why not? Why not?" So let me read a couple of these. Okay, so. So Super Turk says yes for the Spider Slayer version. You hold your breath, Tanner. Spider Slayer. Hold your breath. Tac says Smythe's toys. That could be a toy shop. It could be. Damien says if he came with his chair, then defo yes. Justin says Bofum. I can't read that. Matt Martin says 100% huge hit. Mini Plastic Multiverse says, in the chair, if I had to pick, I am sure he spent more time like that. Yes, he absolutely did spend more time in the chair in the show. Shane says, hit. He's the main one. I need both versions. Frank says, really hard to choose, but the back spike Smythe is most likely. I also think that's most likely. If if the Hasbro team are going to give us one of these right now, I do think the sort of beefed out Smythe. Did he get mutated? Is mutated the right word? Mutated is not the right word. Sort of experimented on himself, I guess. I can't remember.
I think it's mutated.
Yeah.
I'm going to make one thing clear. We don't want. I think the regular version is the easy one to do, but probably without the chairs. We don't want the regular version without the chair. If you're listening, Hasbro, the regular version must come with a chair, or well, is probably more likely the roided out version, but that will require new sort of antennary pieces on his arms. So I don't know which is kind of more likely.
Yeah, we should. Again, I do think Alistair Smythe is a character that should be on their radar. He was on the Toy Biz card back in the day on the Spider-Man, so he's fair game to put on a retro card. A character we haven't had in the Legends line officially. Again, maybe in the Toy Biz days, not in the Legends line, not in Hasbro era. Maybe in Spider-Man Classics. I don't think he's been done
ever.
Maybe
I don't think he's been done since the early 90s. Yeah. And that was the roided version, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
That's the one on the card back. Yeah, for sure. So a character that needs to. Oh, okay. He says Dan BOFTM. Both it means both of them. I did think that, but then I didn't want to sound stupid on stream, but too late. I already do, which is fine, absolutely fine. Thank you, Justin Collette. Yes, I will buy both of them. And so will Jay. Okay, so there's what are we four in, and I'm broke already, Jay. Lots of great picks so far. Okay, so number 5. Yeah. Number 5 was probably the most requested character to have released that's not technically a Spider-Man character. That sort of makes sense, right? Let me just put it on screen so people know what I'm talking about. Is Punisher in his blue outfit. Now, obviously, there's lots of cameos in the Spider-Man animated show. Punisher is definitely one of them in his more turquoisey blue outfit. Didn't shoot any guns though. He had lots of laser weapons. It was a 90s cartoon after all. But it is a version of Punisher we haven't had. So why not? Why not make it happen? It seems to be a very popular choice. It is one of the picks in the poll. But again, Chameleon is flying with that with 166 votes. Chameleon has 40% of the votes so far. Alistair Smythe has 16. Blue outfit Punisher or Blade is 28. And then 17 for everyone else. So yeah, I expect a lot of hits with this one because this is the one that you guys told me you wanted to happen. Jay, are you with them? Is this one that you want to happen?
Yes, this is one that was definitely on my list because it's such a different color. Is it blue? Is it green? Is it teal? I don't know, but it's definitely not classic black. So this has to be done in the line. And again, this wouldn't be too hard to do. You could literally just, I'll take a repaint on this one because the outfit's fine. So they just need to give us in this sort of teal color. I would also take a HasLab on this one. I want a Punisher van, and this could be a pack-in figure. So why not?
Yeah. I'll take absolutely. We need a Punisher van. Yeah. Forget the HasLab concept. Just give us a fucking Punisher van. We'll buy it. All right. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. Well, let's have a Riders. Yeah. Forget what I said. Let's have a Riders Wave Punisher van with this as the pack-in figure. That would sell like absolute hotcakes. Sell more than the McFarlane Batmobile that did sell like hotcakes.
Now, I read online, and again, reading online, not everything's true, but I read online that the animated series changed his costume to colour to make it easier to ink for the sales when they're making the animated show because his outfit's already black and they couldn't really do any cell shading or shadows, so they changed the colour to give him more depth. So that's why I checked. Apparently it was just a creative decision to change the colour. That's what I've read online. So again, he definitely didn't wear this in the comics, so this is very much, if you see this version of Punisher, your brain instantly goes to the animated Spider-Man series from the 90s. So yes. Mini Plastic Morbius says, no, Jay, not a repaint. We don't want them pins. No, absolutely. As I said, we want the best of the best of the best, sir, as they say in Men in Black. So yes, I will take this trench coat or no trench coat. Give me some weapons, interchangeable heads, different expressions. Give me it all. But I do think people want
soft goods trench coat. If I'm going to be greedy, then if I can have what I like, I'll take a soft goods trench coat. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll take that. We've had Blue Beast recently, haven't we? With with the lab coat, so they're not. We know they can do something, but give us a trench coat with sort of a bit of bendy wire for posing. Give us an updated upper torso with some deeper butterfly joints for him, so we can actually get him holding his gun properly. Because he is on I swear in this episode he's on he's trying to snipe. There's definitely scenes of him trying to snipe her or something. So you need to get that range in for posing for sure. Looking at the chat, definitely some hits thrown up for this one for sure. This would be my top picks, is Mini Plastic Multiverse, followed by Blade and Whistler. Miss.
I'm sure Tom would like a Mezco version as well. Why not? Let's have everything Spider-Man animated series.
Shane Shooter says, Miss, I'm cool with my Punisher. And again, I completely understand that for Punisher, it was a cameo. He wasn't like a mainstay in the show. So I understand. I'm not mad at people if they don't particularly need Punisher in the teal or the green or the blue. Punisher only if he comes with his Punisher van. So Greg's right there with you. Jamie says, I don't have the Punisher yet, along with Blade. So there you go, opportunity. Absolutely a need, says Hobby. Ali says, I agree, the Vulture needs better wings than last time, when we were talking about Vulture. And Soft Goods Trench Coat, says Rick Jones. So he agreed. So yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. So a lot of people have already mentioned this guy. So I may as well just waste no time and bring him in. There he is. It's the Blade. So Blade was a little bit different in the show as well, because safety first, he had to wear a helmet when riding his bike. Again, it was an animated show in the 90s for kids. And also, he wasn't allowed an actual sword, so they gave him a laser sword. So basically, Blade was a Jedi during the animated series of Spider-Man. And he's got a green blade as well, so it definitely confirms he was Jedi. So yeah, interesting sort of tweak on Blade for the animated series, which makes him unique there, Jay. Would you like it for the shelf?
I would like it. See, I didn't know that Blade was a Jedi. See, Luke in his green lightsaber from Return of the Jedi is my favourite version of Luke, so why not? The helmet, I think the original appearance of Blade in the comics in the 70s had like the visor. I'm sure the chat can help me out. I think it did. So I think it's like a throwback to the sort of first appearance style. But I would like this one. But I think you need two heads with this one. This is definitely double head, because you need the helmet and you need the unhelmeted version. You need the spike on the shoulder pad as well. But we haven't had a decent Blade in a long time from Marvel Legends. We had the one back in the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure wave, but it wasn't the greatest of Legends, so that definitely could do with an update.
One. Yeah, people hated that one. That was 2017, last time we got Blade, and this sort of he had like weird waist or thigh articulation or something. People didn't particularly like it. So yeah, Blade is a character people want a second opportunity at. And I think, again, release of Blade looking like this, it could work in a comic display as long as the head's not too stylized. Yeah, I think people just want a new Blade in their collection, and the animated series could be a way to make that happen. Little hint of red for his shirt there, and he still has his weapons, but he wasn't allowed a sword. So for the animated show specifically, they gave him his little green laser lightsaber.
Who doesn't love a laser sword?
Yeah, and again, regarding my comment about him being a Jedi, may have to fact check me on that. I could be wrong. Just saying I could be wrong. Right, Blade, you heard it here first. Blade might not actually be a Jedi. I'm sorry to disappoint.
Well, I think he could be trained in the ways of the Force. He was a young Padawan once.
He could. Well, Yoda's race ain't vampires, are they? So I think he'd be fine looking after Grogu.
We don't even know. We know what Yoda's race is called. If they ever actually named it,
I think they have somewhere in some sort of book or something. Yeah, who knows? Someone will tell us. Brandon, where you at? Oh, he left the show. Sad times. It's 10AB today. Happy 10AB. Happy 10AB.
Double digits.
Sad times. Okay, Cloud's in the building. Says Blade is the only one I'd absolutely pick up. Lots of hits. Rick Jones says Blade with a hit. Hobby. Blade and Morbius VHS 2-pack would be awesome. Absolutely. Tyler says hit. Jamie with the hits need all the Blades. Phil Jones says ignite the green. In regards to the lightsaber there. Craig's Nostalgia Collection. Christopher Allen. Justin Collects. Mini Plastic Multiverse. Oh, wait. Hang on. All of them said hit. And then California Red Devil came out of here with the miss. Donatello miss. For some reason, he's very confused. He thinks the Donatello emoji means something bad, where the Donatello emoji means the best of the best. So it's a very confusing comment he's left there. He's like, I don't like it. I do like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. So he's misled.
It's a 50-50, is it, from California Red
Yeah.
Devil there?
Paul McCarthy says Blade all the way. Omar V with a hit. Your boy's got toys says hit for Blade with the Night Sword. Home Dude says Blade Riders series animated. That'd be great. Again, I'd take him on a bike as well. Again, me and Jay would take these in any way we're willing to get them. So like we're just hits on them all. We're like, yeah, just make it happen. Animated style characters, please.
California Red Devil's just got me coming. He's just said, "I'll take this Blade $50 if he comes with Grogu," as a reference to the bargain quality pack we've just had announced from Black Series for the $50 price point with a green lightsaber.
Yeah, sad times. Sad times. I have seen that online, to be fair. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, next up. Someone said earlier in the comments, I can't remember who it was, so I apologise, but someone wrote the comment. I'm sorry if I misquote, but he wrote the comment, "Do you remember the spot? He was shit." I'm like, yes, I do remember the spot. And I actually quite like him. And I would like him in figure form. Now, just before we break this one down, we all thought we were going to get the spot in figure form this year. Because he's already been announced as sort of the main sort of multiverse jumping villain of the new Into the Spider-Verse movie. However, few of us may have seen some leaked images online of the next Into the Spider-Verse Marvel Legends wave, right? Can't show them here, but you may have seen them. They are also on some sort of retro sort of style card back. It's not really retro if it's not a retro to anything. You know what I mean? Plastic packaging. And they're very stylized to the animated design, which is fair game. That's what the figures are meant to represent in the animated show. That's absolutely fine. So that sort of means the spot we get with that isn't necessarily going to work in with our regular 616 Marvel Legends collection, okay? So it does mean we need an opportunity to get Spot. And this must be the most simplest repaint all day long. I'm not saying, again, we don't want repaints, but if you're going to give us a repaint, if there had to be one repaint, I don't mind it being Spot, okay? I don't mind it. It's fine. But I would like to make it happen. I know the character design is shit. I don't care. I like the episode he was in. I would love him to come with like detachable limbs as well and like black discs that you could maybe make a funky little display out of or something. I don't know. I do think this character is more toyetic and has potential to be a fun action figure than you give him credit for. Yes, the character design is very simplistic, but think about his power set. I do think it could be a cool action figure. Jay, your thoughts on the Spot?
My thoughts on the Spot. Well, when I saw this character as a child, the same thought popped into my head as now. He looks like a bloody Dalmatian. So
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But
Quetta's after him.
Yeah, I do want the Spot because I did again like on episode 2. It's just so weird. He's just throwing random black portals or spots, I guess we should call them. So we do need some spot effects to go with the Spot. How many times can I get the word spot into this stream? But again, as you say, this is the easiest repaint in the world. I don't know how we haven't already had this figure. Yeah, we don't want a lot of repaints, but as you say, you've got to accept a repaint for this. It's literally a blank white figure with some black spots in the right place. Now, from those leaked images that I haven't seen, it looks more like a Bruce Timm Batman, the animated series, animated version for the stylized version of the Spot. So that's not going to cut it for me. I need this version. So I would happily take a Spot. Brett, this is probably our first controversial choice, though. So it'd be interesting to see what the chat says on this one. I can see some dislikes probably for the Spot.
Yeah, no. I knew this figure would cause some controversy, and again, just before anyone takes any clickbaits out of us, we're not encouraging Hasbro to give us repaints and stuff. We don't like that. We're just saying you could see them going in that direction for this type of character. Okay.
We are just being realistic, people. Realistic.
Yeah. Compulsive Collector says, miss on all the 90s animated Marvel, but I hope Hasbro makes every pick so you younglings can have them and I can keep diverting my cash into other things. That I appreciate that, Compulsive Collector. I completely understand that this is very much a bubble. Like, this is, you're either... There's like, I don't know, a certain generation that are going to love this, and then if you're before or after, it may not be for you, and that's completely fair game. But I'm in my mid-30s. I was prime age in the 90s to be watching cartoons and buying toys when this was the Thing. So this is in my brain now forever. These are my mind's eye of characters. This is my introduction to so many characters. Like, I didn't really read comics as a kid. I struggled reading, and my parents weren't ready to take me to comic book shops and stuff, but they would let me just sit and watch anything I wanted on telly and films and stuff. So that was my gateway to a lot of this stuff. So I have nothing but fond, nostalgic memories, even for a stupid character design like Spot. And in the show, he actually has like eyes, but in the actual comics, I just think he just has a big dot on his face, I think. So it is a little bit unique for the character design. So if they did release this, they could give us two heads, one that's more comic accurate with just the big spot, and then one with the actual eyes showing that's more animated accurate. So you could give us an option there for comic and for animated fans there for people. But shout out Compulsive Collector, not throwing shade there, completely respectful of our nostalgic attachments. But a few people like the Spot. Few people liked it. Quinn Comet says this figure is spot on. see what he did there?
I did see what he did there. That's top level punnage, you could say.
Beautiful. Why are you putting Jay on the spot with his thoughts on the spot? Oh, they're on fire. They're on fire in the chat. They're in fire.
Oh, keep them coming. Keep them coming. There's probably more.
Paul says he'd be great in a 2-pack with Cruella de Vil. Yeah, as we alluded to. Hex says I'd love the Spot to have random spots. Then we could have like that's a big number that I'm not going to read out loud, but I'm just going to say it's 2 trillion variants and fun the line. All on the spot, and on the spot miss from Cloud. That's fine. She's allowed to pick and choose. We're not mad about it, especially for Spot. We'll let you off. Kurt K says Spot, meh. That's fine. Let me find a positive one. Shane Shooter says hit. I'm cool with the Spot. Some arms through hole effect. Yes, that would be really, really good. Making me as again, give us interchangeable, detachable limbs. Like, I'm not going to use the word magnets because, let's be honest, that's unrealistic for the Legends line. But just imagine the fun factor that we could have with like magnets and detachable limbs. I'm just saying the character has like some sort of, I don't know, like fun factor. You're not giving enough credit, is all I'm saying. Show some respect.
Potential.
Yes.
Can you imagine the ACBA? Come on, toy photography community. Get your little Spot disc. You can have all sorts of things coming out of there. Stick them on the wall. Let's have them magnetized. Why not? We'll have sticky pads on the back. Give us everything, Hasbro. We will take it all.
Rob Pollock, who's jumped in. I seen him earlier. He said he might not be able to join, but he's here. I appreciate you, Rob. He says review Spot gets an exclusive reveal. I'll do it. Whatever you want me to review, I will review. Not a problem. Send it my way. Northern Nomad, Spot on, suckers. See what he's doing there. I see what he's doing. Okay.
Does he really like Booker T, or is literally that somebody else say suckers all the time? I don't know.
I think Booker T stole the catchphrase from Northern Nomad, to be honest. So
fair enough.
That's where Booker T got it from. He also stole the Spinneroonie from Northern Nomad. That was his signature dance move. But Booker T. They're still in court about it.
He needs to do that to get back in his house when he gets locked out, doesn't he?
All right, okay. Next up, Man Spider. Now, this, again, is a character we've had in sort of toy form. I think it was the Spider-Man Classic. So it wasn't Legends proper, but it was the Spider-Man's Classics line where we had big, chunky Man Spider, which, of course, could still sort of fit into a Legends display. But in this day and age, I do think Hasbro could do a much better update. So, Man Spider from the animated show, obviously pulled from the comics, of course, as well. So it could work as a comic or an animated one, depending on how stylized they go. But yeah, before we go to Jay, just jumping in, Mike says, hit on the Spidey Rogues, but I hope they sneak Crayon. Oh, you're talking about comic ones now.
Is he on about Carry On again?
Carry On, Cardiac, Kane, Kate. He wants a Kate. And another attempt at the Bagley style Spider-Man. Chameleon with the Bagley Venom head too. Thank you very much. And also Marvel Legends UK. Thank you very much. He says a Robbie Robinson. End of. Yeah, we said that earlier. We'd take a Robbie Robinson. We suggested a Robbie Robinson. Well, Jay suggested a Robbie Robinson head with Chameleon. That would be a good way to get him out there. So thank you very much, Neil, for the super chat. Again, much appreciated. I'll be reviewing this tomorrow. Thank you very much. Anyway.
I think Mike Hex needs to qualify in there. Mike, they got to be the animated show. So
yeah,
the
Mike.
Show.
Come on, Mike.
Well, I do want a cane. Though, so I'll let him off.
Okay.
And he did pay for a super chat, so that's fine.
What do you think of Man Spider?
What do I think of Man Spider? I've been waiting a long time for this because I did have the Spider-Man Classics version, and I must have sold that like 5-6 years ago, thinking surely we'll get another one, and I am still waiting. So please hurry up because I need a Man Spider. I've still got the base that came with the Toy Biz version of Man Spider. Again, the same base that came with Toad way back in Marvel Legends Series 1. So I've got a lovely base to stand a nice articulated Man Spider on. Because the problem with the Spider-Man Classic ones, that was very, very statuesque. I'm not much of a poser, but that thing just used to keep falling over all the time because its legs just didn't really move at all. So I'm definitely up for a Man Spider. He's a big part of the animated show after the Neogenic Recombinator. I've been waiting all night to get that phrase in. So yeah, definitely I'm in for a Man Spider. Big and bulky. Obviously, it will be a deluxe or a Build-A-Figure. I don't mind either. But yes, please, can we get a Man Spider? And chat, agree with me. Come on, agree with me.
He's not on our list today, but we can talk about the six-armed Spider-Man as well, as obviously that storyline leads to him turning into the Man Spider. So we all know that first attempt at the six-armed Spider-Man wasn't the greatest. So again, another attempt at that would be great with regular sort of Spider-Man hands, but this requires all new everything. Let's give us a really solid Man Spider in figure form. It's a really gnarly character design, very toyetic, and like Jay said, it's a decent part of the animated series as well. So it'll be really good. I love the ripped up Spider-Man costume on him as well, and yeah, really, really good. Shout out Chi Collects. This is good morning, Dan and Jay in chat. Glad I caught the stream live. We are glad you are here with us live, so we can read that chat out loud and say hello and welcome. Enjoy our Spider-Man. I hope you like the Spider-Man animated series, because that's what we're talking about. Okay, in regards to Man Spider, the chat say, Mini Plastic Multiverse says, Man Spider would be awesome, but I guess it would be deluxe, ? Yes, I guess so. A few of these figures that we've talked about today are worthy of bigger releases, whether it be with a vehicle or deluxe or like Vulture with his wings. We shall see. We shall see if they even happen, but hopefully they're on their radar. If they're not, they are now. Justin Collects says, Man Spider would be awesome. He'd definitely be a deluxe release. Tana says, yes on Man Spider, Spider Carnage, all the other variants on the show, especially the Turkish variants. You couldn't see him, he was in the background. Yeah, to be fair, it happens so quick you miss it, but the Turkish Spider-Man is in the animated show. It's just real quick. During the Madam Web scene where all the different variant Spider-Mans are there, he's just at the back. He's at the back of the crowd. He didn't want to be rude and push his way in, but very polite, that Turkish Spider-Man.
All these years I've missed him. I should have paid more attention.
Should have paid more attention. You're going to have to rewatch it again now, Jay, just to spot Turkish variant Spider-Man. Ali says, Toy Biz Spider-Man did a decent job on him, but I think it's time to have the time may have come. Yes, absolutely. I do think that for the majority of Toy Biz figures, like, they held up for their time for a long time, but a lot of things being released now are just knocking those old figures off the shelf.
You've got to think Spider-Man Classics was either 2002 or 2001.
Yeah, predates Marvel Legends.
Over 20 years ago, we haven't actually had this figure.
Predates Legends. Crazy.
I was like 13 when this figure came out. I'm now nearly 40.
That's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. California Red Devil says, second Robinson with a Tombstone 2-pack. Paul says, didn't he, aka Spider-Man, turn into the Man Spider to kill Morlan? I don't think Morlan's in the show. I think he fights maybe Morbius. Maybe
it's Morbius. Yeah, Morlan doesn't come till later.
Yeah, I don't think Morlan's in the show. Is he in the show?
I don't think he wasn't even invented as a character yet, or created, I should say.
He wasn't in the show, but he has popped up a few times in the comics as well. Of course, he has got Spider-Man DNA running through his veins, so it's prone to happen. Your boy's got toys. He agrees with this one. He says hits. Paul cuts his hits. Frank says he'd have to be deluxe or something. Not sure if we'd get that in the VHS line. I agree. John says hit for the Man Spider. Just having a quick scroll. Damien with a hit on this one for sure. And then Dan Youn's in the chat. There you go. Okay, so he said 2 more VHS 2-packs coming this year. Please send all poll results and line streaming link to the design team. You're welcome. And you can send me that check as well. That's absolutely fine. We can do the switcheroo. There you go. You heard it here first from the man himself. Thank you very much for lurking and jumping in there, Dan. So two more unannounced VHS 2-packs coming this year. So let the speculation go wild. Again, Chameleon, best being one of them, Dan Yoon, unless he's on a retro card. And then that's absolutely fine. All right? That's absolutely fine. Chameleon needs to happen, though. No messing around. It needs to happen. All right?
So we're guaranteed then at least 4 more
Agreed.
Spider-Man animated figures this year. Hopefully, as you say, Chameleon is one of them. Let's hope that the 4 are actually in this list we've come up with.
We shall
then
see.
we will look like geniuses.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're still what number are we on now in regards to our list? We've got 15 picks today for you, and Man Spider is 8. Okay, so let's move on to number 9. Let's do a quick recap, actually. All right, let me go back to the start. So as I said, we had Peter Parker in an animated inspired look. Then we had Chameleon, which is my most wanted. And according to the poll as well, 38%, 188 votes also agree Chameleon is the most wanted character in the animated design. Vulture with both the young and old man head, but the young head preference. Alistair Smythe in either version, to be fair, as long as it's done properly. Punisher in the blue. People would like that. Blade as well. We just need a new Blade in Legends line, that's just to be honest. And the Spot, stupid character design, but has potential as an action figure if you can give us some fun gimmicks and features. And then Man Spider was number 8. So at number 9, let's go to Morbius. So I've put a few different pictures here because Morbius goes on a little bit of a journey within the show, and you could maybe express that in plastic. So of course, the animated series of Morbius, that's him, all right? The brighter, vibrant colours. And remember, people, it was a cartoon in the 90s. He couldn't be killing people, sucking their blood. What was it, Jay? Plasma. He wanted their plasma, which as a kid confused I didn't understand it, but I went with it. I was like, you know what? I'm in on whatever I didn't know what plasma was. I was very confused. I think I may have asked my parents if I had plasma. And even they were confused. So I always knew I was safe from Morbius. I was like, I ain't got plasma. He doesn't need me. But there you go. This is Morbius before he transformed. So obviously he had a little bit of a fling with Felicia Hardy. And obviously before he turns into Morbius, that's his look, okay? So interchangeable head options would be pretty cool. But a figure that I had as a kid from the Spider-Man Classics line was big, beefy Bat Morbius. And I actually had a version where you press a button on his back and like the blood pumps on his chest. So that version of Morbius is always super nostalgic to me. So Morbius has a few different options for an action figure. Jay, what do you think of the potential of Morbius here, and where did your mind go with preference?
I was just noting there, I think I might have the word of the day for later, so
Okay.
just do that to remind myself. But, you've done it to me again. You're going to make me choose. This one, though, isn't as difficult to choose because I don't want the crazy full-on Bat version. I want the classic version. I want the Michael Morbius version with the plasma-sucking little holes on his hands. And I thought a few years ago we had this figure because I remember when the Marvel Legends team did the tease for what turned out to be Morgan, I think, isn't it, with the actual the hand suckers on. And I thought, oh, here we go, Morbius. And then people were out there counting the hand suckers and realised we had the wrong amount, so it wasn't going to be Morbius. And I was very disappointed. So finally, hopefully, this year, we will get Morbius in this classic animated look. I just like how his face looks in the show here. So I don't know, it's just a weird sort of bat face, but I really did enjoy his episodes and him trying to sort of flirt with Felicia and all the neogenic Recombinator storyline. So that was one of my favorite storylines in the show. So I definitely want Morbius, and yeah, I love him. Talking of Morbius, though, I did have I think it was a Spider-Man Classics Toy Biz figure, and you had it in like a moving jaw, but the face was rubber, and the face has literally disintegrated over the years. So that was my memory of Morbius from before. So we need this version desperately, and let's make it happen, people. Let's make it happen. Yeah,
we've had a couple of versions of Morbius for the just regular 616, but his character design is so different and much more vibrant in the show that, again, another release with these colours would, I think, justifies a release for sure. So yeah, Morbius, and again, throwing in the unmasked head there just to give us something different. But I wouldn't be mad at the big bat version of Morbius either. I do think that would be very toyetic, deluxe, build a figure, whatever. And again, I'm a little bit nostalgic for this version, not just because of the show, but because I had that figure back in the day that actually pumped the blood. I may still have it in a box in my mum's attic somewhere, but yeah, really like Morbius and like Jay says, I like those episodes. So yeah, a few who was it? California Red Devil in the chat says it's Morbin time. Just and collect with the hit. Your boy's got toys says Plasma. Mini Plasma Multiverse says this is a free pack, all in of itself. Hit. Paul says looks great in the animated series. Damien says yes with Felicia. Again, perfect pairing. I only have the Mark says need some goblin love. To be fair, I didn't pick the goblins, either green or hobgoblin, in this list today because we have already had somewhat of a representation of them from the show. Not 100% accurate, I grant you, but we have had a more vibrant version of both Green Goblin and Hobgoblin on the sort of retro card. So they're both on the wall.
You've just given me an idea.
Go on.
So back to the Chameleon. The only thing I didn't like about that Hobgoblin figure we got on the retro card, I didn't think the head looked animated enough. So they could give us a full animated Mark Hamill Hobgoblin head with Chameleon. We can pop it on that other body, and we got a 2-in-1.
There you go. They could give us apology heads with Chameleon to pop on some of our other figures to make them more animated accurate. I like where you're going there, Jay. Very, very clever. Right, let's go back to Morbius. And a few people have already suggested this, so I won't waste any more time. The next pick is, of course, Felicia Hardy. Now, obviously, her and Peter have a little bit of a flingy relationship on the show. They go back and forth. I think he attempts to date her, and they do date at some point. But of course, she is the Black Cat in the show. So we have had a Black Cat on the retro card. Okay, so I don't particularly need a new animated Black Cat. That's not top of my list. But I do want more civilian characters. And I would really like a Felicia Hardy. I'm not going to lie. She's a figure character we've only ever had as Black Cat. We've never had her as Felicia Hardy in any line ever. So let's like, we've just got an Aunt May. Like, we've literally just got an Aunt May in figure form, which is somewhat too inaccurate. Like, why can't we have Felicia Hardy in that same style? So I'm just throwing it out there. And a 2-pack with Morbius is a great shout. Jay, what do you think? Felicia Hardy.
I also want a Felicia Hardy, but I seem to want everything. So I'm going to go, no, I don't want a Felicia Hardy.
Okay,
so far, if I had to turn on one pick so far, I could live without a Felicia Hardy. We've got the Black Cat version, as you say, on the retro card that pretty much does look like the animated version of Black Cat. So we've kind of got that box ticked. So as much as I would like her, I'm going to turn on her. I'm going to go, no, I can pass on Felicia Hardy.
All right, that's fair enough. Northern Nomad says, Dan, ever... Yeah, I do say that quite a lot. But it's true. We have never, ever had a civilian version of Felicia Hardy in figure form. Just saying. Just saw it. California Red Devil also says, I love apology head. To be fair, that usually works, doesn't it? Usually works. Damien says, with Blade would be a hit. Your boy's got toys says, neogenic recomp... You have to say it for me, Jay. You've been practicing.
Neogenic Recombinator.
There you go. Thank you very much. Tanner says, we have had Black Cat 2, to be fair. I think the retro one fits into the animated line. I agree, by the way. I do agree that the Black Cat we have on retro card already fits into the animated line. There she is. Not mad about it. What I'm saying here, because of the Aunt May love, I would like more animated civilian characters. Now, we already had Peter Parker, so of course the next choice had to be Felicia. Okay, I'm lying a little bit. Maybe that's not my next choice, but I didn't want to just blurt that option out straight away. Maybe this one is my next choice, okay, people? If this is the actual female civilian character we need in the line, can we have Miss Mary Jane Watson in the classics, I don't know if classic's the right word, but I'm using it, the sort of just sweatsuit, the sort of the jumper, whatever you want to call it, just the yellow, the one when she's at the door, when he literally opens the door, they sort of copy that comic panel where she's like, you've just hit the jackpot, but she isn't wearing the black tank top. And the animated show, this is the outfit she's wearing when Peter opens the door. She wears it throughout the show. I have just threw in a few other alternative looks for her down here. 10 points if you can guess, know where these outfits are from. One of them may be easy. Okay, one's from the wedding, obviously. I'll give you that one. Where's the next one from? Why is she wearing that outfit?
I'm just looking at the other one. I can't remember.
It was her
Come on,
band.
chaps.
She was. It was her band. She was a singer.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes,
few
yes.
alternative looks, but again, those were just like to show you that she did wear other outfits. But saying that, I think we have had a wedding version of Mary Jane in like doll form at some point down the line in toy world. Again, not one I've had, but I'm sure Mary Jane in a wedding outfit has existed in figure form.
We had Aunt May in a sort of doll form back in the 90s. That thing's scary from the Google an image of that. That's very scary.
Yeah, those are the type of ones that just do not hold up. But Mary Jane Watson, okay, you said you were passing on Felicia. You're not passing here, Jay, right? You can't.
No, I'm not passing here. This is the most passionate I've seen you about a figure so far. So I'm going to ask you something here.
Yeah.
Does Amanda have a yellow jumper by any chance?
No, but maybe I should get her one. I'll buy the Peter Parker shirt from the Disney store, and I'll just jump online and get her a yellow jumper. She will have no idea what's going on.
It's a cosplay waiting to happen. That's on the inner circle.
Gonna have to get her a red wig and everything. Amanda would be game for that. Yeah, all right, I'll get back to you on that one. I'll save that for the inner circle after night show.
This is iconic, isn't it? Well, it's iconic if you like the animated series.
Yes, of course,
If the comic, of course, the black tank top, we've got that, so that box is checked. So let's get the animated version. The purple trousers, or pants, as I should say in American, and the yellow jumper or
that's not that conversation
sweatshirt,
again.
I should
Pants
say in
and the
American.
pants again, confusing again.
Yeah, again, this is just iconic for the 90s animated series. You got Peter in the outfit we saw earlier and MJ in the yellow. So I think again, I'm going to call it now. This is one of the 4 that Dan Yoon has teased us about coming this year. This will be in a 2-pack, and it will be packed in with Chameleon.
Oh, that would be the 2-pack, wouldn't it? That would be a 2-pack. I also would hope if I genuinely had to pick 4 Spider-Man animated character designs. Look, we can do that at the end, but yeah, she's in there with Chameleon for sure. Whether it's a 2-pack or they're in different packs, doesn't matter. But these 2 character designs need to be in figure form for me. Again, the animated series was my gateway, and yes, obviously I've went back and read a lot of comics and the films and different shows and incarnations of Spider-Man. But forever, if you say Mary Jane to me, that's the image that pops into my head. So I need it in plastic on my shelf. Selfish, I know, but I'm sure there are people that agree with me. Jump into the chat. So Prophet with the hits. Paul with the yes, Tiger hits. Jamie with the hits, 100%. Mind's Eye version Mary Jane. Chi Claire says MJ over Felicia any day. Christopher Adam with the hits. Mike says, what about an exclusive see-through water version of MJ? Very clever, Mike. There was an episode where with Hydra Man where she is just water essentially, So translucent.
Poor MJ. Whatever happened to MJ in the animated series? I guess we will never know.
Very frustrating. They need to bring it back for Disney Plus like they are with the X-Men.
Yeah.
Damien says the haunting of Mary J. Watson episode. Yeah, sad times. Again, if you know the show, you know what we're referring to. Just Justin with the hits. Hobby said the Mary Jane Mephisto episode was fire. Yeah, and Damien in the chat suggested a Mephisto with Mary Jane as a 2-pack, which wouldn't be a bad option, but we have had Mephisto. Mysterio, I keep saying Mephisto, don't I? We have had Mysterio on the retro card already, so I don't see him being one of the choices for the VHS pack, but could be wrong. But good episode for sure. Okay, few people are saying some other. Quinn says definitely needs an animated Mary Jane, Peter Parker, Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, Man Spider, Morbius. Bring them all. I'd buy them. This is what we're trying to tell the world, Quinn Comics. This is what we're trying to tell the world. We want these figures. The Hasbro team know that this Spider-Man series. Dan Yoon knows himself. He's the one in these rooms doing the breakdancing to get these figures made for us. So yeah, let's get these designs in plastic. But we're not over. It's not over yet, people. Still got a few more picks to go. Okay. So, easy one. Everyone's saying hit for Mary Jane. Did not see one miss there for Mary Jane in the yellow sweatshirt. Madam Web. Another big one for me, Jay, not going to lie. Now, next year, Sony are doing some cash grab Madam Web movie with the girl from 50 Shades of Grey. I can't remember her name. I don't think that film's going to be very good. But usually when a film comes out, they the Hasbro will release figures or characters that are somewhat related to that movie, okay? So with a Madam Web movie coming out, maybe that will give them the encouragement to make a comic version of Madam Web. I don't want a movie Madam Web. Don't care about the Sonyverse. Not my MCU. But comic or animated Madam Web, yes, please. And again, my mind's eye of Madam Web will always be this sort of episode where she brings them all. This was the MCU before it was the MCU, all right? It really was, because Spider-Man would pick X-Men characters. He'd pick Iron Man and Captain America. The Fantastic Four. Like, this was the MCU before the MCU, and you didn't even know it, okay? So this was my little mishmash universe, and Madam Web brings them all together. She has that little chess table. She has that big chair as well, that throne. She doesn't really have any legs. She has like a sort of long skirt piece. So
it's like a wiggly sort of thing, isn't it?
like a mermaidy style vibe. So she needs the chair to sit in. So again, this is our list, Jay, right? So we're wish listing here. Madam Web in her throne, okay? So I think Rider's Wave sort of style, but instead of a vehicle as such, you get this epic throne, which is the spider web, where she can sit down in it. Look really cool. Maybe some tarot cards as well with some different characters on for holding. I don't know. But Madam Web, would you like to see it in figure form?
I would. There you go. Spoiler, I would. There's a surprise. Madam Web, again, another pretty much essential character for the final season of the animated show. She's literally all over the thing. We wouldn't have a final season without Madam Web. So I even went back before and bought a old Toy Biz version of Madam Web, and it's absolutely tiny. It just didn't scale, so I ended up getting rid of it in the end. But that's how badly I wanted a Madam Web in my Marvel. Oh, that's a lot of words, isn't it? Web in Marvel. Got to suddenly make myself a little bit of can't speak. But oh yeah, I want this. But you need the chair. You do need the chair with this one. So we are going to have a deluxe release with the web chair. And because she won't have a lot of articulation in her sort of
she genuinely wouldn't stand. She doesn't stand in the show, if I remember correctly. She's always in the chair. So like, it's part of who she is, and you need it for the display. So yeah, the chair would have to be a piece of it. Your boy's got toys reminding us she was voiced by Stan Lee's wife in the show, which she absolutely was, which is a nice little tidbit. Stan Lee was actually also in the animated show as himself. So I nearly put him on my list just as a little sort of Easter egg, but I thought I'd save him for a different day. But Madam Web, again, this season of the animated show was basically their multiverse saga series, do you know, like season. So this is when it went a bit mad. So I think she is needed in figure form. Again, animated comic, whatever. We need a Madam Web in our Spider-Verse collection, please. Make it happen. Sony, good luck with your movie, but just hand over the keys to the castle to Marvel, please. Kevin's waiting. He just wants Spider-Man back.
That would be much worse than Morbius. My goodness, that was a strange film. But with that coming out, Madam Web in there, we got a chance. They've just an Aunt May. Maybe they got a thing for grannies at Hasbro at the minute, so we might have a chance.
No, they could like gilfs. That's absolutely fine. No judgment. All right. Okay, so Madam Web, we've got a few hits there for Madam Web. Big Will says, just take my money for your whole list with a lot of hits. Tanner says yes with the chair. Mark says hit. Hobby says hit. Crazy Nostalgia Collection says hit. Comic 7 says hit. Dakota Johnson, California Red Devil, correct. Thank you. That is who is playing Madam Web, who was in 50 Shades. She has been in other things, but I don't remember that. Amanda made me watch the other films, by the way. It's not. I didn't choose to watch them, even though I wouldn't have minded. Anyway. Ali says Madam Web was a pain in the ass. California Red Devil does say hit for this one. He'd like this one. Okay, so a few people have suggested this next one, and this is a bit of a deep cut, but I'm going to show it you. Our next pick is the Beyonder. Now, again, if you are not a fan of this animated show, you may think to yourself, why is this cosmic sort of level character in this very much grounded New York hero show? Well, as Jay said, season 4 got a little bit crazy. They started playing with time and the multiverse and all of this, and the Beyonder got involved. Now, he wasn't in it a lot, so is he like a most wanted character we need for the animated show? Look, probably not. However, the Beyonder as a Marvel character, we haven't got in Legends line. So, like, this is more a case of let's pick this character just to put him on the radar and say that we would like a Beyonder in the Marvel Legends line, whether it be Spider-Man animated, whether it just be normal 616. Let's make the Beyonder happen, people, all right? The costume design here is quite similar to what you see in the comics as well. So yeah, I just wanted to put this in the zeitgeist, if you will. Okay, I want a Marvel Legends Beyonder, a cosmic level character who did
Fancy
appear.
word.
Yeah, he did appear in the animated show. It's fact. You can look it up. These are the images. What are you saying, Jay?
What am I saying? I am saying that the first Marvel graphic novel I read was Secret Wars.
There you
And of
go.
course, Battle World, the Beyonder. So why not? I would give him as you said, it's a very similar outfit to one of the comics. So I put a comic head in as well. We'll have again, double head, as we keep saying tonight on the stream. So, yeah, I'll take him. I don't see any problem with the Beyonder. I think he's more needed for a comic collection than the animated series, but they are so similar that I can't see why we can't have both, because I think he is an essential comic character. And again, with the Avengers Secret Wars Doctor Doom figures coming up, there may be a chance of this one, Umpers. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
For the record, I completely agree. We obviously need a comic Beyonder more than we need an animated one. However, it was a deep cut I wanted to throw in there just to sort of make people aware, as yeah, it is sort of a sort of Secret World-esque storyline towards that end of the season, where Peter gets to pick his team of good guys to go up against Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom actually steals the powers of the Beyonder, and Madam Web works for the Beyonder. Like, again, there's a whole web, if you will, of connectivity. But the Beyonder is definitely in there. So I just putting in the zeitgeist. I would like a Marvel Legends Beyonder. Let's make it happen, okay? In the chat, Tana says miss. He's not a fan of the Beyonder. Ali says yes, the Beyonder looks cool. Mark also says as Madam Web's boss. Completely agree. Your boy's got toys says I do like the armored version, but the comic coloured version is cool too. Just and Collect says I could take it or leave it, honestly. Quinn Comet says if they were in the animated Spider-Man series, I'd take them in plastic form. Yeah, it's basically me and Jay as well. But we've thrown a few suggestions out there today for sure. Greg says Tana, what if it's a Beyonder with Turkish Spider-Man? Then he'd buy it. Basically, whatever character comes two-packed with Turkish Spider-Man, Tanner's buying it. There's no question, all right? No, he's in it. He's in. Tarek says, I made a Reddit post with my suggestions for two-packs. Well, share. We will read them out. Dan Yoon has already confirmed today there are 2 more VHS 2-packs coming this year. So that's 4
More figures.
4 animated series Spider-Man figures coming this year. Are any of them on our list? We shall find out. My next pick, Jay, to be honest, I don't think is going to be one of these 4s. I'm just going to say it out now. My next pick will not be one of the 4 2-packs, one of the 2 2-packs coming out. But I did, again, just a deep cut from the animated series that I always remembered and wouldn't be mad at in figure form, but I don't think it's going to happen. Let me introduce to you the Forgotten Warriors, the 6 Forgotten Warriors. And I know what you're thinking, people. They're aptly named because you have also forgotten about these warriors. And that's fair enough. They are named that way on purpose. So these are basically characters from Marvel Golden Age, okay? So these are Golden Age characters that were sort of hand-picked into a team that was led by Captain America. They all had keys that would do something. They've all got individual names as well. And they all had like these rings. So like that's how they would change. They'd transform and use these rings. And the rings was like the MacGuffin of the show. And again, led by Captain America, who again was in the animated series. So again, the Forgotten Warriors. Who would like these in figure form? Okay, I'm not saying they're going to happen. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if they released a 5-pack or a 6-pack of Forgotten Warriors, would you be tempted? Would you be tempted if the value was there and all that nonsense? You know what I'm talking about. Would you like these character designs on your shelf? I, for one, wouldn't be mad. I'd like to have these on an animated shelf, just in the background, just not being forgotten. I didn't forget about you. You're on my list, Jay. I'm pushing the hard sell here with the Forgotten Warriors because I'm well aware it's a big deep cut, but it's one I fondly remember. What do you think?
It's another deep cut. It's another either series 4 or season 5 episode. They remind me of the not the Justice League, but the Justice Society of America, the JSA, the older warriors and heroes coming back. Would I buy them? Yeah, I'll pretty much buy anything. Would I need them? No, I wouldn't. But a 5-pack, a nice discounted 5-pack, I do remember the episode quite well, so quite happy to have them in the collection. As you say, this is your sort of random pick,
Yeah.
the deeper cuts, if you will. But It might be a hard sell, this one, because let's be honest, people probably have forgotten about them. So this could be one of the greatest peg warmers of all time. I think if you were to these, this is like £150 5-pack.
This,
But,
for the record, people, this is absolutely a purposely picked deep cut, just because. Again, no one remembers these, but I just remember the episode, and I thought it'd be fun to add to this list. It is nowhere near the Chameleon, Mary Jane level of my needs for my collection, but it would be a fun pack all the same. That's all I'm saying.
It's better than a hippo, at least. At least he had made a list so far. If he will, I don't know.
Come on now. Maybe an animated hippo was in the animated series, if you remember correctly, people. Just got to watch it to find him. Just like Turkish Spider-Man, just there at the back.
Yeah.
Let me just read this little snipping I took offline. So all of these heroes are from the golden age of comics, as I said, and were featured in comics from the 1940s, published by Timely Comics before they became Marvel. Only Captain America appeared in Marvel Comics, okay? So the rest of the characters in the Forgotten Warriors were not even in Marvel Comics, okay? So, Jay, I will give you 10 bonus points for every member of the Forgotten Warriors you can name. Same goes to the chat. Same goes to the chat, by the way. Who can name the actual members of the Forgotten Warriors? All right, I'll zoom in, see if that helps. Does that help? Does this help refresh your memory?
I knew you'd ask me, but I thought I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to research it. So I'm going to go for the Wizard. I think that might be one.
The Wizard's in there. Yeah, the Wizard's in there.
I've just seen him in the back of the picture.
Yeah, Wizard's in there.
That might be all I can give you.
Okay,
Miss America?
Yeah, Miss America, yes. Miss America, yes.
Oh, come on.
Two for two. 2 for 2.
The Shadow. Go for the Shadow.
The Shadow. Interesting. No, not the Shadow.
Oh. I don't know.
Let's say you
mix
Black Panther and Captain Marvel together. What? Give me a mix the name Black Panther and Captain Marvel. Give me a name mixing them together.
Captain Panther.
The opposite way around. Black Marvel.
Oh, Black Marvel. Okay.
Captain Panther to the rescue.
Close, people, so close.
You're literally the opposite of what I wanted you to do, but Captain Panther works. Let me see if the chat have got any suggestions. Yes, Captain America, of course, led them. He's easy. Miss America.
Who said Captain America?
Yeah, come on now. Prophet saying Vision. It's not Vision. The Rose is not one either. Scream is not one either. No. Black Marvel is. Your boy's got toys. Absolutely correct. Yes. Love these obscure characters. Says California Red Devil. Yeah, me too. That's why they're in the list. It's a bit of fun, people. I like to have fun on YouTube.
I've changed my mind. I kind of want them now.
Okay, so let me read them to you. It's the Destroyer, Miss America, Thunderer. So Thunderer, Black Marvel, and Wizard. Okay, so there you go. There's the 5, and then Captain America would be 6. He leads them. The 6 Forgotten Warriors. There you go. There's the names. I'll put them in the chat for you. Again, the episode's fun. It's a fun episode with Captain America. Again, they've all got rings that sort of power them up. It's a fun episode. Go in there.
It's like Captain Planet,
exactly. Maybe that's why I like it. I love Earth, Wind, Fire, Go Planet. When our powers combined, Captain America. I don't think it works like. I need to rewatch it myself to refresh my memory. Anyway, Forgotten Warriors, deep cut. I doubt it's ever going to happen, but I just reminding you of this nostalgic nonsense. So there you go, Forgotten Warriors. So there is one more pick, Jay, and I thought for the last pick, I'd move away from an actual character design or character or figure and go, okay, let's go bigger scale. What from the animated series would I like to be in plastic? Okay, that we have already had in plastic. Confusing, right? Well, let me show you.
Yes.
My last pick for today is the Spider Slayer. I'm talking 3 vehicles, the Scorpion, the Spider, and the Black Widow, all on top of each other. That you can take them apart just like you could in the old Toy Biz days, because this was released as a Toy Biz figure back in the day as well. Let me throw that up on screen. So there you go. That is what it was back in the day. You could buy this. It was the Toy Biz Spider Slayer that obviously was branded with the animated series. It went with the Toy Biz figures, and they actually all could climb on top of each other, and you could build your very own Spider Slayer, which is in the 2nd episode of the animated series. Alistair Smythe builds it for the Kingpin. Obviously, his dad helps him buy it, but spoiler alert, his dad dies, and then he Smythe feels indebted to Kingpin and they work together until it all goes wrong. The Spider Slayer is a fun element of that animated series. I think it would be a great addition. In 6-inch form, it would be an impressive piece as well. Jay, forget price points and all that nonsense, right? We're just wishing at this point. It's a wish list. If you had the option to add a 6-inch scale, animated, accurate Spider Slayer to your collection, would you like to?
In one word?
Yeah, one
Yes.
word will do. yeah, beautiful.
Yes, yeah. As you say, it's episode 2. It's literally the Night of the Lizard kicks it off, and then it goes into the Spider Slayer episode. Well, more than one episode, isn't it? It goes over a couple of episodes. First of our sort of multi-part episodes, and that's what I loved about the animated series. The same with the X-Men. It's this weekly episodic sort of television where it would link together. You'd have to come back next week to see what happened. It just drew you in that way.
It wasn't rinse and repeat. There'd be consequences type thing.
Yeah. And because this was so early in it, again, it holds a lot of memories. I never had that version as a kid. Mummy wouldn't buy me that one, so I'd like to have it now as an adult, please. Yeah, that would be great. I'm sure this is going to be a very popular one as well. I'm sure lots of people would want this. It is, again, another vehicle that's iconic to the animated series. There are different versions of the Spider Slayers in the comics, but for the animated series, this big old Transformer, Scorpion, giant thing, yeah, is absolute classic. So I would definitely take a Spider Slayer, and I don't think we'll see any misses on this one unless somebody is trying to wind me up again.
Yeah, let's be honest, I didn't have this as a kid either. Like, I knew it existed, but again, I didn't have this. I didn't have the playset either. I think they had the Daily Bugle playset. I didn't have those higher priced items, but obviously I would occasionally get allowed to get the figures. So this was one I always wanted. Never went back and rebought it in my sort of collecting days because again I tried to. I'm in the 6-inch world now, so all my old figures are gone. All my Toy Biz figures are gone. I sort of regret selling some of my Toy Biz figures, to be fair. But some of them I went to cousins and stuff. Like I thought I had them safe somewhere, and I'd go back to my mum's house and went, "Can I have my Bucky O'Hare figures and my thingy figures?" "Oh, I give them to your cousins. I didn't think you." I'm like, "What? No!" She doesn't realise Turtles, Bucky O'Hare, Marvel stuff gone to just cousins that didn't care. Now it's in a landfill.
I sold a lot of mine to buy my PlayStation 1. I remember doing a car boot sale and selling a lot of the childhood figures to buy that, which I love my PS1, but kind of want my figures back too now. Yeah,
sad times. But now we're adults, we can waste our money on them. So make a new one and we will buy it. So Spider Slayer. So Ashaholic, thank you very much for the channel membership token. He says, but would they do it without it being a HasLab? Now, again, we're just wish listing here, all right? But you're probably right. They probably wouldn't do this unless it was a HasLab sort of format because it would be a high ticket item. But I would like to see them try, whether it be HasLab or not. Again, it's irrelevant. I'm just wish listing. I would like an animated series, accurate Spider Slayer for my collection in scale as well. Now, I guess you could scale it down a little bit, but it needs to be big and hefty. Do you know what I mean? Like, so again, it's a wish list. Yeah. It's a wish list.
It's a big centerpiece. It's a big centerpiece of the collection. So I would like to see it. But again, as you say, it's a wish list. So we will wish for what we like.
Yeah, let's let me go back to the chat and see what people are saying. So the Mechanical Spider Slayer, says Cloud. She absolutely called it. The Tri Spider Slayer, Tanner called it. So did Ashaholic. Craig says, how yes hit. Ali J said, Punisher van as a HasLab. Look, either or. I don't take either or at this point. But I don't think Hasbro are very fond of vehicles at the moment, so I think the next HasLab is going to be Giant Man, and I don't think that they're even trying to hide that aspect of it. So no vehicles for the time being in the Legends line, unless you're Hawkeye and you want a little Sky Cycle, then Hasbro have got you. Chi Collect says, take my money. Paul says, take my money. Yeah, take my money too if you're going to make this, absolutely. Cloud says, HasLab Tri-Sider Slayer done. Yeah, again, like Ash said, HasLab seems like if we're being realistic in its current climate and the current sort of ways that this could happen, HasLab does seem like the potential. Am I encouraging it to be a HasLab? No, by no means. I'm just saying I would like this in plastic some way, in some form. The Fossil says, back mates, what did I miss? I don't know. When did you leave us? It's all good. You can watch us on the replay. Mikey Moonboot says, how yes, hit. Tariq says that would be a nice pack. Big Will with the hits as well. The Fossil says, oh yeah, man, Spider HasLab, I'll be down. Christopher Allen says, if I had infinite space, I would take this, but I don't, so it's a miss. Ooh, we got our one miss, Jay. It's all right, though. I like Christopher. It's fine. Chi collects his 20-figure wave, a Spider-Man, Spider Slayer build-a-figure. Yeah, let's be honest. I don't think I have the space either currently, but I'd make the space. Again, it's a wish list, people. Everyone takes this far too serious, don't they? They're like, right, could only be a HasLab. I haven't got the space. This would be too inexpensive. Look, forget about the politics. We're just having fun. We're just saying, wouldn't it be fun to have? Let's just say you did have the space. You did have the money. It did exist. It would be fun. That's all I'm saying.
You can find the space, people. The man above me, I think, has bought 2 turtle vans. So where's he going to put them? So don't panic about a Spider Slayer. It can eat them. He's got windows he can lock, doors. He's got ceilings. He can kick Amanda out, replace it with a Spider Slayer.
Can go somewhere else.
Plenty of room.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll find the room. It's not a problem. Teddy's bed will probably be one of those. Vehicles.
I tell you what. Let's have a remote control Spider Slayer, and you can chase Ted around the house.
He would hate it. He would get freaked out. We did buy him a robotic spider, and he hated it. He tried to attack it, but then we get scared. And Amanda filmed it. Very amusing for pet owners. But yes, he does hate mechanical spiders. Confirmed. Maybe I'll post a video on Instagram if I remember. But there you go. So that is it. That is 15 today. So let's do a quick recap, and then I want to know. Me and Jay will speculate on what we think our 4 or the next 2 packs are going to be, all right? And then it's on record, okay? So let me go back. Let me go back to the beginning.
Let us know your 4 in the chat, everybody, then. We know 4 are coming, so let us know as well.
Yeah, so in the chat, okay, people, you can pick these out of our picks today, or you can make your own. But Dan Yoon, as by the pinned comment, has jumped in today to confirm there will be 2 more VHS Spider-Man 2 packs coming in 2023. So let us know what you think those 2 packs are, okay? So you've got 4 characters, 2 of them paired off. So let us know in the comments, and I will read a couple out as we wind down the show here today. Let's recap first real quick. So we got Peter Parker in an animated, inspired, accurate look. Same with Chameleon. Animated, inspired look, please. Vulture with both heads, or if I had to pick the younger head, but I would like the option for both. Alistair Smythe. Again, either version's fine, as long as it's done right. Punisher in the blue. Blade in the all black with his laser sword and helmet. It could be on a bike as well. We'll take it. The Spot. Lots of potential for a very toyetic, fun action figure. But yes, a very simple character design, granted. Man Spider. A character we haven't had in figure form for way over 20 years. Definitely worthy of an upgrade. Would be an epic piece. Morbius. He needs that plasma. And he has had multiple forms in the show. But again, obviously his main look is more iconic. But I do have some nostalgic attachment to that giant bat. So I'd take it either or. I'm fine. Felicia Hardy, a.k.a. Black Cat. We've got Black Cat on the retro card. But I'll take a Felicia Hardy in a 2-pack just like we got Mary Jane. Just like we got Aunt May, sorry. So there you go. Mary Jane, absolutely up there. Chameleon and Mary Jane are like this, constantly fighting for my number 1 spot. They need to happen in figure form. Madam Web, she's up there for me though as well. Really like Madam Web. I do really like that. Again, that was my MCU as a kid. Was that sort of last couple of episodes with the Beyonder, etc. And there's the Beyonder himself. He existed in the show. Could he exist in figure form? The 6 Forgotten Warriors were forgotten by the chat, but not forgotten by me or Jay. Would be like them in figure form. Absolutely. Give me a 5-pack. Give me an animated style Captain America. I'd take it. But I understand that was a deep cut. Spider Slayer, HasLab, whatever it has to be, I would love it to happen in figure form. Whether it becomes a reality is a completely different question. Maybe I just have to backtrack and get the Toy Biz version that came out way over 20 years ago. So maybe 30 years ago at this point. But still, would be good in figure form. So Jay, I was rambling there to give you some time to think. Have you compiled your 2 packs?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
Let's hear it.
The composition has happened. So 2-pack number 1, ladies and gentlemen, we are going for Chameleon and Mary Jane Watson.
Strong. That's a strong 2-pack, Jay. That's a win. My 2 most wanted characters in the same 2-pack. I'm in. Easy.
And 2-pack number 2. Here we go. Morbius
Okay.
and young Vulture.
Oh, nice. Okay, 2 Rose Gallery villains, animated show. I take it. 4 highly anticipated characters for me. So I'm gonna jump off you there and go. Okay, I'm agreeing with you. I would like Chameleon and Mary Jane. I don't actually think they'd be paired together in VHS form for Legends. I would love them to. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think they will be. But for this scenario, yes, please put them together. Mary Jane, Chameleon. For my next 2-pack, I don't think I'd go Morbius. I do love Morbius, but I don't think I'd go Morbius. I think to keep it civilian and someone else, I'm going to go with Peter Parker in an animated look and an animated head sculpt. Do you know what I mean? It has to be animated accurate, not just the generic Peter Parker guy with glasses. Give me an animated head sculpt.
The fine jaw, isn't he, in the animated series? The haircut across.
He's got very much a look, and again, it has to be one of these outfits that you see on screen. Okay, so if we're getting an animated series, especially if we're going to get Mary Jane, do you know what I mean? I need a Peter Parker, so I'm going to say Peter Parker in a 2-pack. And who would he be paired with? Who would Peter Parker be paired with? Do you know what? For the sake of this, I'm going to say Man Spider. Bit of a wish list, because I don't think that would happen. But I would like it in my collection. And again, a character design that's worthy, very toyetic, worthy of a release. So there you go. There's our 2-packs. Let's see what the chat have said. Okay, I'm going to scroll to the chat. I'm going to put the chat on screen for this part, all right? This is your moment to shine, chat. There you go.
Jump in, chat.
All right.
One thing I have learnt from this evening is I think this has been a very popular topic and people love Spider-Man the animated series. It isn't just us two.
No,
so I thought maybe it is just me and Dan that love it, but it does seem very popular. So hopefully some of this will happen.
Look, retro cards, they sell out. Like, the only 2 retro cards that have sold out from that wave in any of the UK retailers are Rose and Tarantula. Are they the most popular characters? No, but they're on that very nostalgic Spider-Man retro card that people just can't get enough of. And if you want to, it will replace wallpaper. I'm just saying, it will cover wallpaper nicely and make for a great display, all right? So I've got room. I told you. I've got a room there for Craven, and then I've got some room underneath there for Rose and Tarantula. And don't worry, I'll move all this out of the way. This can be gone. Don't worry. For you DC figures, get out of here if we get small Spider-Man retro. Okay, anyway, the chat's on screen. Let's read some of these. Okay, so hopefully people have played this game correctly and gave us some 2-packs. Let me scroll up a little bit. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so Damien, starting us off here. There you go. Damien says, top 4 are Vulture, Chameleon, Big Wheel, and Rocket Racer. Interesting. Again, to be fair, you don't have to pick figures on our list. This is just what you would like in these VHS 2-packs. I don't think Big Wheel or Rocket Racer was in the animated show, though. So you're reaching, but
They were in the animated show.
Were they?
They were, yeah.
Big
They were in
was
an
in the
episode together. I said the same thing because Damien messaged me his list, and I was like, I didn't think they were in the animated show. And no, he sent me proof they are in the animated show, and I think they're even in the same episode.
What?
So we've both forgotten the same episode of the animated series.
Spider-Man. I'm looking right now. Spider-Man anime.
I knew Rocket Racer was in the animated series,
That rings
but
a bell,
I couldn't
that
even
rings a
tell you
bell.
who Big Wheel was. But I know people have mentioned Big Wheel before on the. But
Shit,
yeah,
I think
apparently
he's
they are.
right. I think he is freaking right.
Because you'll recognise the animation as soon as you see it. It's such a distinctive 90s animation style.
Okay, what all can I say is that all I can do is I apologise. There you go. Look at this. I love learning new things. So there we have. Let me flick it on screen. So there we have Spider-Man being chased by what I can only assume is a big wheel, and then if we look over here, there he is in the controls. Yeah, that episode is gone out of my brain. Okay, that's getting a rewatch very soon. I need to see that in reality. Okay, fine. Fair game. Absolutely fair game. They're in the show. They're in the 2-packs. Will it happen? That's a different question, Damien, but I hope for you they do. Okay, Paul McCarthy says, Chameleon, Alistair Smythe, Blade, and MJ. Chihi collects says Spot with Chameleon, MJ with Smythe. Ali says, on Chameleon, I know it's about the colours, but I still get why people will want it, and I think it will be made pretty soon, probably next. I hope you are right, Ali. I hope you are right. Phil Jones, aka Professor Hill Phones, this is why he's a professor, because he puts the two obvious choices together with Morbius and Blade. It just makes sense, doesn't it? It just makes sense. Yeah. So that's why it's the Professor Hill Phones. Greg says, so because it's Spidey animated series VHS, they could do Captain America and Red Skull. They could. They were both in the animated show. Abnugler has climbed out of the well to give us his 2-pack suggestion of Uncle Ben 2-pack, animated version, and Tombstone. Tombstone is a character in the animated show, so see where he's going with that. Sad times. Poor Uncle Ben. Ash says Harry Osborn and Norman Head with a Green Goblin body 2-pack. Yeah, I nearly put Harry Osborn on my list just as a male civilian because obviously they have that very iconic hairstyle. But again, I stayed away from the goblins. I tried to stay away from characters we've sort of already had attempts of in animated form. Now, granted, some of the figures we have on the retro card, they're meant to be animated inspired, but they're not very animated accurate. But I still, for the sake of this list, I tried to stay away from anything we've already had. So that's why you didn't have Kingpin, Rhino, Electro, Shocker, any of the goblins, because we've already had an attempt at them. I wanted to pick things today that we haven't yet seen, if that makes sense. So there you go. But I'm with you there, Ash. I would like
always have the Osborn heads again in with Chameleon. Have Harry and Norman in there.
That'd be great.
Professor X suited body. That'll do.
Yeah, easy. The Fossil says 2-pack, regular Alistair Smythe and the monster Alistair Smythe. Yeah, that could work as well. As long as he gets his wheelchair. I think the regular Alistair Smythe needs his wheelchair.
Yes.
Rocket Racer was in it, yes, says Ali. Yeah, season 3, they're telling me. Okay, I'll go and rewatch. I told you, I need to do the rewatch. I still think there's episodes I haven't seen, if that makes sense. Like, I know I've seen a lot of it, but there's always, unless you watch it from start to finish, there's always one that eluded you, and I think that may be one for me. That's exciting. I can discover new things even at this age. It's always fun. California Red Devil says Rocket Racer is the forgotten one for Dan. Yeah, absolutely. You can join the forgotten. It's now the Forgotten 7. Alistair Smythe with Kingpin and Mary Jane with Green Goblin, aka Harry Osborn, if we aren't getting any more VHS. But the Chameleon can be on a retro card, and so can Vulture, says Tarek. And Tarek, I agree, Tarek, because I would also prefer Chameleon to be on a retro card. Selfishly, I know we're talking about VHS here, but selfishly, I would rather all my picks be on a retro card. But I understand that's not going to happen. But I'd prefer Chameleon more so than Mary Jane to be on a retro card, if that makes sense. So, just so we can go along with the villains we've already got. Okay, yeah. Cloud says, I want the goddamn Danny Ketch. Was Danny Ketch in the show? I swear Ghost Rider was.
He was in the Hulk show.
Yeah,
he was in the Hulk.
He was on the TV screen in the X-Men show. He was on the Hulk show. He was in the Fantastic Four show. I don't remember off the top of my head if he was in the Spider-Man show. But Danny Ketch has got to be on Hasbro's radar. I think they're just purposely not giving anyone anything Ghost Rider related this year for obvious reasons. So, yeah, maybe not. If I see another Shocker figure, if I see another Shocker figure, I will riot, says Ash Holic. Ash, do you know what? If they give us another Shocker figure that was more accurate to the animated show, with the black lines painted on him properly this time, I'd spend my money on it again. I'm not gonna lie, because the other attempt, as I said, it was an attempt. It wasn't accurate. All these figures on the wall here. Right, let me go main camera for a second. All right. So all these figures on the wall, right, are animated inspired, but none of them are animated accurate. A lot of them are just repaints of figures we already had on a retro card, and then suckers like me buy them because we love the nostalgic attachment. But honestly, if you break them down, not many of them are accurate to the animated series. They're just animated inspired, or a tribute to the animated show, if you will. The only actual animated retro cards we've got that are meant to be 100% accurate to the show are Venom and Spider-Man, because they're both cel shaded. Obviously, this geezer here, Scorpion, is more animated accurate as well. So are those two. But otherwise, the line is full of character designs that are tweaks from the original Legend line. You know what I'm talking about, Jay. I'm not wrong in anything that I'm saying there, am I? Like, a lot of those figures weren't purposely made to be animated accurate. They just sort of repainted them to try and tribute what was on the animated show.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's just with Spider-Man and Venom with the actual animated cel shading, like Kingpin, again, it's a tribute, but he's not wearing his animated blue trousers. He's wearing his purple ones, so it's comic. But they are inspired by.
Northern Nomad's laughing at me because I called myself a sucker. It's true, I did. He's doing a spinneroonie as he watches this. It's crazy. He spinneroonies the whole time he's watching this. It's insane.
Like, I don't know how we've gone for the whole stream, and neither of us or anyone in chat seems to have mentioned the lizard. I know we didn't get him on the list, but that head is very specific, and I want a Kurt Connors. I love Kurt Connors, and Dr. Connors is all over the animated show, so give me one of them as well. I want too much, really, but I love the show. So.
Yeah, there was a few third-party custom people out there making more animated, accurate head sculpts for Kurt Connors and Lizard and for Hoblin. So, again, the figures that we've got on the retro card right now are a tribute to the animated show. They're on the Glorious retro card, which is, of course, a tribute to the Toy Biz figures, which were a toy line with a company in the show. But a lot of the figures we have are not animated accurate. What's going on with this VHS line is they're trying to make them animated accurate. That's why you've got the blue cell shading. That's why you've got a redeco. I must admit, though, I'm not the biggest fan of cell shading. Like, I sort of learnt to... I don't know if appreciate is the right word, but now I've got all my X-Men figures on the shelf displayed together. Like, it's their own collection. Like, my animated VHS cell shaded X-Men figures will not mix with my 616. So they've got their own separate display up here. They're on their own. So this is my my animated mini-verse, if that makes sense. All my animated figures are up here with the VHS cards, like Jay was saying, on the display as a backdrop. So that's it. My animated figures are its own display, if that makes sense. So if you are cell shaded, you're automatically not allowed on my 616 shelf. Okay, you're cast. You're out. You're cast to a different shelf. So if I had to pick my preference, I'd rather just do away with cell shading so I can mix and match what characters I want on what shelf. So, but that's just me.
I try not to be too bad, but I was going to keep them separate. I've tried to merge them in, just try and not overbuy and buy the same character like 7 times. But yeah, I've kind of got them in a cube on their own as well, but I'm trying to mix them in. Venom, you need cell shading on Venom because Venom was very specific in the animated with the reds and the blues. I think he looked weird without it, but I think you don't need it on every figure, and clearly it's not coming in every figure, because I don't think Doc Ock's got any on either.
And for the record, this is just my own ramblings and my own thoughts. There are no rules to collecting. There's no right or wrong. No collection's too big. No collection's too small. Like, that's the magic of this hobby, is that you create your own rules to break your own rules, to make your own rules. Like, you put your figures wherever you want to put your figures. I'm just talking out loud amongst friends sometimes, that's all. And in my stupid head, I'm a sucker, what can I say, Northern Nomad? I don't like mixing my cell shaded with my regular figures. But that's just my preference. But I know a lot of people out there don't mind, as long as it's a decent representation of the character. They're not bothered about the cell shading. But I don't know. I think with all everything on our list today, Jay, I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there and say, no cell shading, please, thank you. That's just me. That's just me.
It's off. Shell shading's off, everybody. Yeah. Dan who's cancelled it. It's official.
I don't think people will be mad at that, though, to be fair. Okay, there you go. Last call, then. Last call. We'll skip through real quick. All right, and Jay, you know what I'm going to ask you? I'm going to ask you to pick one, all right? One. Think about it. Okay, Peter Parker. Okay, well, hang on. He's not even on screen. Okay, one pick. One pick to see us out of here, and I'll go to the poll to see us out. Okay, so Peter Parker, Chameleon, Vulture, as the Smythe, Punisher, Blade, The Spot, Man Spider, Morbius, Felicia Hardy, Mary Jane, Madam Web, The Beyonder, The Forgotten Warriors, or The Spider Slayer. If you could only have one of any of these in your collection right now, what would it be?
Okay, I'm going controversial. I've changed my mind during the stream. Morbius.
Wow. Strong contender for Jay there, Morbius. So even though I said Chameleon is my number one, right? Absolutely, undeniably, Morbius nearly tricked me then. Chameleon is my number one, right? So let me go to Chameleon. I do think Chameleon's coming. I do think the Hasbro team are clever enough to know we need him. It's been a long time. He's coming. He's my number one. Mary Jane is fighting him for second place. But if I genuinely could have any one of these on our list today, like turn into a reality in 6-inch form, I'm going for the Spider Slayer. Do you know what I mean? If I was in that room, they're like, look, yeah, just pick one of those, we'll make it. make the fucking Spider Slayer, please. Do you know what I mean? Because this is the one I see the most unlikely to actually exist. So, again, it's our wish list. I picked the Spider Slayer. Make it happen.
He's gone for size there. Size matters to Dan Who.
It clearly does.
That's official.
I'm not trying to compensate for anything. I promise. Amanda, where's your yellow sweater? Get it ready. We're nearly off. Okay, let's see the chat out. And we get out of here. People. All right, thank you for joining us today. Again, I know people sometimes click these videos and are like, damn, I don't want to watch 2 hours of this list. Just skip ahead. Skip ahead if you want. But it is long form content. We do just like to chill out here, talk amongst friends, have a fun conversation about this hobby, because there's enough idiots on YouTube. We're just a couple more idiots on YouTube, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So we're here if you want to listen to us. We're back on Sunday for Legends and Liquor. So that's how we're going to end the show, is by plugging the shows that are coming. So again, if you are a channel member at the members club tier and you want to be on the stream, like me and Jay purposely didn't do pickups today because we're going to save that for Legends and Liquor, because as you can imagine, we've always got stuff to show off. So Sunday we'll be doing Legends and Liquor. Where is my I'm looking for my other show intros. Here we go. Here it is. Legends and Liquor. There it is. Okay, so if you want to be on Legends and Liquor this week, people, please, the floodgates open after today's stream. If you're on the replay crew, please let me know ASAP. It fills up pretty quick these days, which I'm very thankful for. 16 guests, 2 groups, Legends and Liquor this Sunday, and our clocks go back or go forward, Jay told me, on Saturday night, Sunday morning. So it's a normal time. So Legend and Liquor is back to your normal regular time. It's not an hour forward or an hour back. It's at your normal regular Legend and Liquor time. So if you want to be on, me and Joe will be back for that, talking toys and all that good stuff. But until then, if you need some more Jay fix, then looking for you. Jay's got his own YouTube channel, Talking Toys. Jay, tell the people where they can find you online.
You can find me on YouTube at Jays_Toy Collection UK. I do have a new laptop, so I've tried editing. I've got an RKO GIF in a recent video, or GIF, whatever you want to call them these days. I've got graphics popping up on the screen, overlays. I'm trying it all, and I've even made Cheeky Monkey Kiara sit down for 30 minutes this week and talk about Masters of the Universe. I know some of you have watched it. She's named Merman Mr. Housework. She wouldn't let me get a bloody word in on my own stream. So I've kicked her out tonight to go to the wedding fair. So if you want to catch up with all that chaos, it is at Jays_Toy Collection UK. And thank you for the support. We went over 700 subscribers last week, and I think I've hit 725 this week. So
very nice.
On the way up.
On the way to 1K, my friend. We will keep pushing. You will get there, undoubtedly. Looking at the chat, Cheeky Monkey Kiara just jumped in. She's a good sport as well for getting involved. She says, hey, sorry I'm late. I've been booking a wedding venue. There you go, Jay. She's booked it.
She's booked it. She's actually worked for the door. Is it booked? I don't know. She's looking at me.
Well, we'll get off.
We're going there.
Okay, well, we're getting off. She can tell you all about where you're getting married. Marriage is, not for me. Not for me. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching us. We'll be back Sunday. And again, I just want to say, I keep saying that one more thing. But last thing, Inner Circle, Friday, the 31st of March, okay? Later stream than usual so more people can get involved, mainly for my American friends. Always want to show some love every quarter with the Inner Circle. Be a channel member. You can literally only chat and get involved if you're a channel member, okay? It's like an exclusive show. Be part of the crew. We will be there. We'll see you then, maybe. Bye-bye. Oh, word of the day, Jay, as we're rolling out. Word of the day.
Word of the day. My word of the day has to be plasma.
Plasma. Do you know what it is? When you stopped, I was like, it's plasma. I know it. It's plasma. Beautiful. It's the right choice. It's the right choice. Bloody plasma. Morbius was his number one pick. Plasma had to be the word of the day.
Now, I've enjoyed my 2 weeks. Thank you for having me. And now I'm going to Delaware. Me and Kiara are emigrating to Delaware, just to let you know.
Yeah, Jay will. Next week's a bit of a weird one. Again, this isn't exclusive for anyone who stays until the very end of this nonsense. But yeah, next week, I will be introducing a brand new co-host, like an official brand new co-host. So next week's going to be interesting, all right? Brand new, official, long-term co-host on the show next Thursday. See you then.